Ready?
Yep. As soon as he said ready,
Yeah.
I got a shit.
Secret's out.
Yeah.
Secret's out.
Can't gatekeep though,
Yeah,
guys.
you can't. It's good pizza. I'm like, oh no. Aggressively plays his cards, man.
Yeah.
It's not a snap, it's a slam.
Yeah. Oh, Sarah.
My brother is a fraud.
I don't even play card games. Yeah.
I may have that shit. I don't even know if any of those are real cards.
Don't put me up.
Sully's Abode presents the Talkin Shop Podcast. I've forgotten more about trading card games than you'll ever know. I'm your host, AJ Giron. Joining me today are some of Sully's finest. With insider market knowledge so good you could bet your kids' diapers on it, it's Sushil Patel.
Hello.
And a high-rarity hunter that would put Battle City duelists to shame, it's Murbariz Mirza.
Hello.
Very
That's
good.
your brand.
That's my brand. It's your brand. I should be skilled, but
Yeah. We'll go for that too.
exactly.
How are you boys today?
We're good. It's we've been talking about this for a while, so
Yeah.
No, excited to get this off the ground, man.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things that the people want to know.
yeah.
At least I like to tell myself.
A lot of insider knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Bet your life savings on it.
Do you like that? That was a joke referring to
Yes.
one of our regulars.
It was good.
All right. So since this is our first episode, I'd love for everyone to get to know us. A lot of us, or well, not a lot of us, but Sush and I both work here at Sully's. And then Murbariz has been a regular for forever now. In fact, Murbariz, you know the owners personally, right?
Yeah. Sully, I met after he opened the shop. I have met Sully after he opened the shop, but the other owner, we grew up together, and we were actually, I'd call us best friends. If he
Yeah.
comes in and
Yeah.
corrects me, we can do that later. But we
he
met in
listens.
undergrad, and that I consider one of my brothers.
I think that's the fun part about the abode here is that the relationships run real deep here. Whether it's like the way that I interact with the regulars or like the friends that sometimes we hang out with outside of the shop, right, Sush?
Yeah. Some say Murbariz is the third partner actually, so
Rumor has it.
rumor has it.
You'll never know.
Yeah. We'll find out.
All right, so just like we're back in school, I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions.
Okay.
We're going to start off with deck archetypes. Sush, why is every businessman's favorite archetype aggro?
Because time is valuable. It's your most valuable asset. So when you're done, you're done. And if you're losing, you're losing. And it's okay. You just go to game 2.
Right? Time is money.
Yep, time is money.
And you'd say that's your favorite type of deck, right?
It is. I do enjoy aggro. I do like the Unga Bunga play style. I do like to not think a lot. I think card games are a way for me to unwind. So that's why I enjoy aggro, where it doesn't really need to be necessarily combo focused or anything like that, where I need to know certain lines and stuff like that. So
I knew that one off the top of the dome, but with you, Murbariz, I don't know what your actual favorite deck archetype is. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I love control.
Okay.
Like, I'm a big control player, and I'm a businessman as well. So my thing is I just like to it's the art of negotiation, right? You
Yeah.
never want to be on the back seat. I want to be controlling everything that my opponent's doing, like whatever they're putting on board, keeping it clear.
yeah,
Always have the high ground.
keep your leverage. Yeah.
Exactly.
That was my guess that was your favorite archetype, but I even have in my show notes, why is every older brother's favorite archetype control? Because mine is too.
Big Dofi guy. Murbariz is.
Come on, man. That's a soft spot in my heart, dude. Dofi's where it's at.
Were you playing that before that deck was good?
Oh yeah, dude. That was my day one deck. Blue
Yeah.
Dofi.
Yeah.
I was thinking green. Isn't that what you top left that one time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I started off as a blue player,
Yeah.
and then once GP Dofi came up.
GP, yeah.
This is One Piece, by the way, for everybody. For
Oh,
those
yeah,
that
yeah.
don't know, I'm a big One Piece player at the moment, and yeah. So when GP Dofi came out,
Yeah.
I started making the transition to green cards just because I like the freeze and the Dawn manipulation.
For sure.
I feel that too. Like I really like Green's toolbox.
Yeah.
I think my favorite card in One Piece is actually Carrot. Like I legit just love on play, I get an effect, and then I have this repeating value where
Yeah.
I swing, freeze, swing, freeze.
Absolutely. I mean, it's almost like you can ignore board for
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah.
an indefinite amount of time.
I've lost many a games to Carrot.
Yeah, during our testing, what set were we? Did we go to a regional in?
Oh.
Was it
That was
07 or 08?
That was 08.
08, right?
Yeah.
Because Jinbei came out 07.
Exactly. And then
Right.
the final Dofi support.
Yeah.
Because that I remember that regional was all blue Dofi.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah. It was.
And I picked the right deck though, because what was it? Bonnie ended up taking that one, the Madison
Yeah.
Regional. I felt like if we played a fair game into the the blue Dofi matchup, I was gonna win more often than not. I felt like I could trade effectively. I felt safe. I had so many blockers. I had 10-drop Dofi, being able to freeze the board and everything. I had Carrot, but in my first 2 rounds, my opponents went Jinbei X, Jinbei X. And I was never going to win that.
And
No.
yeah.
But it like at the time that deck did that so consistently
Yeah.
that even though Bonnie had the top end tools to win, you're often not making it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Especially when like people finally started teching in Jozu.
Oh, yeah.
Trap Jozu, like
Oh
having
my
a free
God.
7K body, it really put that deck over the edge.
It did.
My next question to you guys is there a favorite deck that you've played all time? So Sush, and Murbariz, and I, we all actually have history
Ooh.
having played Yu-Gi-Oh, Lorcana, and One Piece. Sush and I have also played Magic, but Murbariz, I don't think you've played any Magic, right?
No. So Magic was, I've always been around Magic, like my older cousins, they all
Yeah.
always played. But my thing, even from a young age, I just didn't like the card style.
Yeah.
Right?
Valid.
Like it always looked very old. And like
Yeah.
I started collecting with Pokemon and then I
Yeah.
graduated to Yu-Gi-Oh! And I've always been in like the TCG sphere and I just never had the money to like
Yeah.
fully get in.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then when I got like actual like disposable
money,
income,
yeah.
that's when I just went crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for Magic, I was just like, there was one card that I really liked. It was the White Wyvern.
Okay.
And the only reason I liked it is because it kind of looked like Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Okay. Yeah.
But other than that, I was just like, man, these cards just look like
The
kind of
very-
depressing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say they're ugly, but they look depressing. Like everything was just super dark.
Yeah.
And just the word, the text placement, the energy the resource placement. I was just like,
Yeah.
it seemed cloggy to me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get a lot of hate from Magic players. I have a huge amount of respect for Magic. I respect the game.
Yeah,
I just don't
yeah.
like the card design.
Yeah. It's better now. I
Yeah,
think,
it's much better now.
A lot more modern and politically correct now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The old cards are definitely
Yeah,
tough.
not easy for the eyes. I
yeah, the
think.
demonic tutor with the what is it? I don't know what it's
It's like
called.
a demon, right?
Yeah, it's a demon,
Yeah.
but it has like a satanic symbol on its forehead.
Yeah.
That one got a lot of backlash back in the day.
I mean, I
But-
respect the effort there.
Yeah, yeah. If you're gonna go for it, go
Yeah,
for it. You know,
exactly,
like
man. Can't fault him for that. I mean,
Commit.
you can, but
yeah.
So, Sush, do you have a favorite deck of all time?
Oh, that's a good question. I think so. Out of all the games I play, I think I like One Piece the most, just because I really like the IP as well, and I think I like the simple math. Right, the math makes sense, and that tickles my brain. Right,
Yeah.
as a math enjoyer. So, yeah, I think my favorite deck would have to be Whitebeard, partly because there's a lot of stories associated with me getting into the game with
Yeah.
that deck. Where I got in, I played it for a week, then it got banned, then we're just waiting, and then it got unbanned. So I think the roller coaster of emotions as I made that deck made me very fond of it, and I
Yeah.
also just love the deck.
Yeah, and the
That-
character himself too, right? You've always
Yeah.
been a big community guy.
Yes.
Always enjoyed
my favorite
building a
character for
village.
sure.
Yeah.
that's
Also,
why we're
just-
both on here together. That is
That's
also
true.
my favorite character.
Yeah.
yeah, we're related. Just for
Father-son
everyone.
relationship. over it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think it'd have to
You
be
better listen to my son.
yeah. I played the 6th Straw Hat Whitebeard list when that was a thing, and that was
Yeah.
like really fun because it was like a fun group of characters, and it was like aggro and everything I wanted.
It was such an amazing deck, and like
Yeah.
there have been a lot of big bads since then, but I think that was one of the decks that was at the top for the most sets.
Yeah,
Right, like every other deck, like Sakazuki, Law, they got hit pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And Whitebeard, despite getting hit, people found build-arounds.
Yeah.
And it kept staying on the top. And it was just one of those things where until Pudding was released,
Yeah.
there was no real answer to the deck.
Yeah,
It's a
it was
6K
crazy.
leader, and you're drawing 6 additional cards for free.
Yep.
So you had this massive hand size.
Yep.
Red had some amazing counter events.
Yep.
So it really didn't matter which package you played in terms of like characters.
Yeah.
It was that what really saved the deck was the inherent 6K power and the events, like the
Yeah.
counter events. Like, hey, I'm gonna put whatever on board.
Yep.
And like I remember I was playing against a Whitebeard and I swung 20K, casually countered out a 20K, and I was
It's
just like,
crazy.
why?
Yeah, my favorite thing was when we would, because I'm a net decker, so it just what it is,
Yeah.
The shame there was crazy.
I mean, I don't cook, guys. I
It
don't.
sounded like you were like owning it, but then it was just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is,
Like to
Like,
make
there's a
that
lot of
public
people that are
statement.
smarter than us that have a lot more knowledge in
Hours.
this, and we should use them as a resource, right?
Exactly. But it's about skill expression. So.
It is. It is. But then, I remember Whitebeard. It was just how much of his face was showing in the pie chart.
It was amazing.
Sometimes it was half. Sometimes it was like 75%. It was like, how much do we get past the mustache or not?
No, I always looked forward to those Eggman recaps because
Yeah.
it was just a Whitebeard and then a small little sliver of other.
Yeah,
it was just everybody else right
Yeah.
there.
So I'd say that'd be my favorite. How about you, Murbariz?
Again, like you, One Piece is probably my favorite game right now.
Yeah.
In terms of physical TCGs, like I think that has some of the most interactive, fun game design.
Yeah.
And like you said, like the math just makes sense, right? Like, I mean, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Will always have a soft spot in my heart, but I always turn to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because to be a judge, you have to have some sort of doctorate, right? Like the rules
Yeah.
and just the sheer amount of text and
For sure.
interactions and, tiering and as they trail off, it got so convoluted. But One Piece, the combos are complex, but there's beauty in the simplicity. Like it's like the dichotomy of it all.
Yeah.
Love using
The
that word.
dichotomy of it all.
The dichotomy
guys.
of it all. But probably the deck that was just like something that I played the longest. I don't know if you guys remember Quick Draw Synchro. in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Whoa.
Yeah, man. That was such a fun deck.
Yeah.
That was probably the last time Yu-Gi-Oh! Was insanely fun to me. I was just like, man, boom, moving cards around. My opponents are getting cross-eyed.
Yeah.
It was good, man. It felt like I was just like the TCG version of like crossing someone over, like breaking ankles. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was a lot of fun. But like now, if I had to say my favorite deck for One Piece, that's a tough one because I gotta say it's green purple Dofi because that's
my money.
that is where I almost got first place at a regional with that. I lost in the finals and
Yeah.
then dropped to 5th place. I hate how tiebreakers work.
Dang.
but
Yeah,
it
it's
is
brutal.
what it is. But no, it was that deck is one. Dofi's one of my favorite characters, and then it helped me like have a balance between like the purple play style and the green play
green,
style.
yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and I love the 10-drop Dofi card.
Yeah.
So it just helped me like just spam that.
Absurd. Still kind of absurd.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I still like any green
Yeah.
deck you sprinkle that in. Like
Yeah.
it just
green good
it just
stuff.
works. Yeah.
And Hody. We love Hody.
Digrius Jones. But Quick Draw Synchron, Quick Draw Synchron was one of those where like they left it unbanned
Yeah.
for
Far too long.
Far too long. But when they hit it, I think that's kind of when that was the beginning of the end for me.
Yeah.
I moved on to Punk after that. I don't know if you guys remember
yeah,
Punk.
Yeah.
Punk was a lot of fun. Like it got me close to that
You
feeling
got
where
support recently, right?
Yeah, I did.
Pretty sure.
did it?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so out of
in?
like the new Yu-Gi-Oh sets.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends that still play, so I like in the periphery I hear a lot of different things, a lot of different, like what's getting support.
Yeah.
But I'm all into the physically bigger cards now, like the physically
Yeah,
bigger
yeah.
card games,
no,
right?
the carpal tunnel is crazy with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh man.
Like,
It's also just like why? Like what are the
Yeah,
cards are this
yeah.
size, man? Like yeah, we get it. You want it to be different, but come on.
yeah. They'd also would benefit from a standard size. though,
Easily.
I think.
Easily.
You know, with how much text is on there.
Mm-hmm.
But my friend, one of my homies, Danny, shout out Danny, he always says that he feels like a giant when he plays with Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which is a valid take. So
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Like
Yeah.
a little bit of an ego boost.
It's
No, that's
I'm huge.
yeah.
For me personally, I'm even double sleeving my Yu-Gi-Oh decks so that they are quote unquote standard
No,
size.
Same, yeah.
always done that.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
always done that.
And to your point about quick draw synchro and like moving cards around, things changing zones, like I love a deck that is super mechanical, quote unquote
Yes.
mechanical, where it's like, okay, I draw a card, I play a card, move it to a certain zone, it moves another thing to another zone. Like I just like having busy hands. Like I've always been a big
Absolutely.
fidgeter and stuff like that. Like I don't think camera's catching this, but like I'm always spinning my pen and stuff like that, tapping or whatever, you know. I just need to keep my hands busy. So I love a good deck like that.
But I think that's very like representative of TCG players, right?
Yeah, I
Like you
think
always see
so.
people like hand shuffling.
Lot
or-
ADHD.
yeah.
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 It's like an in-game fidget spinner.
It is,
And
it
I
is.
never used to do that. Like there were only like when I grew up, you know, just playing like after school Yu-Gi-Oh, after school card games. That was my TCG world, right?
Yeah.
And then as I got older, getting into college, I was like, okay, let me just start going to locals and things like that.
Yeah.
That's when I started getting introduced to like hand traps and like, you know, like the
Yeah.
finger counting, and all
The-
that.
Oh,
the
the tapping on the
tapping,
table.
the tapping, like the play mapping. And it was so bizarre to me
Yeah. Until you're in the space.
until I'm in the space.
Yeah. It
I
makes
just-
sense. Yeah.
Without realizing,
Yeah.
I just started doing it,
Yeah.
right? Like I shuffled my hand once and I just looked down. I'm like, what was that?
Yeah.
What the hell did I just do?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it goes to even like while I'm at the shop, I like snap the cards as it comes in, and I'm like, why did I do that?
that's satisfying.
Yeah.
though. That's some
It
ASMR.
is, it
The
is.
snap sound. I'm like, oh,
But it's like I'm not even like trying to do that though. You
No,
know,
but it's just a part of
like
it.
a mannerism.
Yeah.
You know.
I
I'm like,
was
Oh, man.
I was watching a kid. I think he's like 13. He's qualified for Pokemon Worlds. That's what our locals was last night. It was Pokemon, and I swear his hands were moving so fast as he was hand shuffling. His cards would have caught fire.
Oh,
His hands
absolutely.
were moving so fast.
I think you
Man.
can tell how nervous your opponent is
By how fast?
Yeah.
Or how aggressive?
Exactly.
I think the
Some people have
aggression is
gotten
funny.
really good at like maintaining a poker face. But
Yeah.
hands don't lie, Chico.
No. I do the whole what's it called when you like fan the cards out? and
Yeah.
Pick them up. I do that a lot now, just because I want to be different. Makes it feel like I'm at a casino, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
I've gotten into the habit of just putting my hand down. Like I'll
Yes.
fan my hand out and I'll
Yep.
put it down and I'll just like lean back.
But
Yep.
you're just like reaching for it, like
I'll like now that I pay one, please. I have a reason to pick it back up because like okay, when I get swung into and I need a counter out, that's when
Yeah.
I'll pick up my hand.
yeah.
Mhm. But otherwise, it's like I shuffle, and then I'll do the exact same thing. I'll put it down, and I'm just like, okay, I'll wait till they do something, advance the board state or whatever.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
otherwise, it's just gonna be click, 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 click,
Exactly.
click, 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 click.
I don't know if you guys remember, there was a Japanese One Piece event in the like I don't know if it was like a finals or what, but it was a pretty large event, and one of the Japanese players asked a foreign player to stop hand shuffling because
Oh,
it was
really?
distracting.
I
Yeah.
did hear about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was apparently like it was a big deal
Whoa.
on Reddit for a little while because for them in their top events they have to put their cards in a
And the
rack.
tray, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the foreign player was like picking his hand up, shuffling, and then putting it down, and he's just like, "Can you please
Wow.
stop doing that?" And I remember there was like a parody because I didn't see the actual instance where this happened on stream, but they kept saying, like, "Can you stop chugga chugga chugga? Can you stop chugga chugga chugga?" I was like, is that what it sounds like?
We're gonna make that a thing now. Though.
I don't know.
Chugga, chugga, chugga.
T-shirts.
Chugga chugga.
Check a podcast.
Maybe that's what it should have been. Oh, dang.
Okay.
Except it's such a.
Yo, you just got percentage of the podcast.
I did.
man.
That's what we call equity. Chase equity, friends.
I think I'm like between two, and I think it'll really surprise Sush.
I've known AJ for a long time. Everyone,
Yeah.
10 plus years.
Yeah, a decade now? Over a decade now?
Yeah.
Yeah, over a decade now. But I think we've all mentioned One Piece decks. My favorite One Piece deck, and one that I thought that was super, super mechanical, was Red Green Law. So I'm not saying this is my favorite deck,
Yeah.
but I did want to say my favorite
respect
One
that.
Piece deck. I
That's a
love
good one.
I love decks that are bounce decks, where it's like I play my card, I'll pick up my card, I'll play it again for more value, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love like a good like mid-range deck like that. But when I started off playing Magic, it was as like a blue-red tempo player. So the way this tempo exists in like One Piece, where you have to be winning in life ultimately, but hand size matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Board state is those are like the 3 avenues that I think it takes to win.
Right.
So like another deck that I've owned my entire card game career, and what I would probably say is my favorite, is Niv Mizzet. But
Yeah.
Oh.
so it was this blue-red Spellslinger deck where I play a card, draw a card. It's completely different from Red-Green Law, but it's just what got my journey started with card
Yeah.
games.
It's your eternal deck.
It is. I've
Yeah.
owned it for a really long time, and it wasn't until after the pandemic that like I was like, man, do I retire him? Do I like send him to the retirement home and like
To the binder.
yeah,
Yeah.
to the binder. So I don't think that's what's gonna surprise Sush.
Yeah.
It was the fact that I almost said red, purple, or ruby amethyst from
Oh,
Lorcana.
from Lorcana.
From Lorcana.
Wow.
Yeah, it's this bounce deck that's like, you know, you're once again just generating value,
Yeah.
you know.
Shout out Merlin Goat and Rabbit
Yeah. That
That was a crazy combo.
and Mim.
Yeah,
Fox,
and Mims,
Fox,
yeah,
yeah.
Fox Mims, yeah.
Yeah,
I always liked the top end red cards in Lorcana, man.
It's
Like
crazy.
Maleficent and
The Maui.
The Maui,
It's like I guess
yep.
medium or like 5-drop rate, but still.
I think that's
Top
how we
end.
first started talking to Murbariz, right? We first like really started talking to you during like a Lorcana locals when the game first came out?
That's true. I smoked
think so.
bars in the locals, and this dude packed it was set 1, and he packed a Lilo, and I was playing green yellow at the time, and he gave me the Lilo.
Just straight up gave it to you.
Just
Yeah.
gave me the Lilo. It was a very sweet
Dude,
gesture.
that card was expensive at the time
It
too.
was.
It was like what, $20 or something?
And then I put it in my deck and beat him.
it was it was nothing worth the friendship and the lesson I learned from that loss.
Yeah.
I think it was when Lorcana was just starting. I don't know if it was Lorcana that got us to talk, but
Yeah.
I remember I was reaching out to you both a lot just to get your advice, like what
Yeah.
I should build, and things like that. And then that kind of just really spiraled into like an actual friendship, right? Like not just like, or at least I hope I'm not just one.
No.
No.
There's a lot of people that want to be on this podcast, Murbariz, but you're here.
You're
There we
here,
go,
and you
there
got
we go.
invited to the wedding. So,
Yes.
you know.
Wedding party, baby.
Yeah.
But going back to Red Green Law,
Mhm.
that's I think an amazing favorite deck to have.
Yeah.
Shout out to Anonymous from Will of DDT.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm also a part of Will of DDT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
let them know.
uh,
Let them know.
Shameless plug.
Subscribe.
That was his day one deck.
Yeah. Okay,
And,
okay.
You know, he was also just the thing with Adnan going back to like the finesse of like handling your cards. I think this is just slowly getting closer to
Yeah, it's like, it's taking them more.
inching
Yeah. They can't see it, but it's like literally like a foot of space. Like Mars is like 2 feet behind it.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you
It got tired of it.
Yeah.
But Anonymous has this thing where like he aggressively plays his cards, man. It's
Yeah.
not a snap, it's a slam.
Yeah.
Like he slams his cards out like, bro, it is never that serious.
Yeah.
And it's just but that's just how he is. He's
But
like
he just wants you to know that he has the 5-drop law down, you know?
I think it's with any deck he plays, man.
Really?
It's just how he plays his cards. It's such an assertion of dominance.
Yeah.
I really respect it.
What I wanted to say was I wanted to give Adnan his flowers because we were talking about net decking earlier. That dude is a chef. That dude
He
is
is.
always
Always
working on
cooking,
something,
man.
right?
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody more active across multiple discords than Anonymous.
Yeah.
That I know personally, right? Like
Yeah.
there's always like people on Discord are just like this ghost presence in your life. But like when you actually know someone and they're just like on there, I'm like, man, Discord really is a lifestyle.
Yeah. What I appreciate about him is that he doesn't back down. When he's cooking, he's committing to his meal, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if it's shit, he'll still eat it. Oh,
Oh man.
my bad.
No, you're good.
I didn't mean to swear.
We're allowed to.
I was at the risk of overexposing my boy Adnan.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Talking about like digging into what he cooks, like there was he was on BY Luffy for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be so upset about this. Just know I love you. And there was a regional at the time when
Okay.
BY was hot,
Yeah.
and somebody won by adding the 4-drop Kuzan,
Okay.
the 4-drop black Kuzan that when you swing you
Yeah.
minus. And Anonymous dug in on our group chat saying like this is just wrong.
Yeah.
And we're like, You can't
No.
argue with the success, man. The guy
Yeah.
just won, and you
Yeah.
did not.
Yeah.
Right? He's just like, I don't care. If it was just his day,
Yeah.
and then another tournament,
Yeah.
that build won.
Yeah.
Another tournament, that build won.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, listen, I know it's doing well, but I still don't like it.
Yeah.
I think it's wrong.
Yeah.
And to this day, he will maintain. Like, he tripled down on it.
I appreciate that though. That's a good trait to have, like lock in.
Stubborn.
Well, yeah.
Stubborn to a
Back
point,
into-
maybe.
Yeah. To an extent.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
this is kind of cancelable, so I'm gonna stop talking.
He's a fantastic player, though.
He is, and a good person.
Yep.
So I want to get into the main meat of our topic today. I want to talk about the TCG landscape. Do new games have legs? And what made One Piece so successful? And what happened to Lorcana? So obviously, we are human beings. We're just for the most part going to speak from our own biases and stuff like that. But this is a One Piece shop here, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. Probably one of the biggest ones in the area.
I'm always pushing the fact that whenever I do help somebody and they're like, wow, you guys got so much and stuff like that, I do always just end up calling us the best in the Midwest. We always
It's not
have
far off.
we have so many singles, and we have like some singles that some people may never see, like that Silver Luffy, the Gold Roger, all the mangas that at this point, like Sush and I are just so numb to.
True.
No, but like this shop churns and burns a lot of One Piece
We
too,
do.
right? Like there's consistently a lot of like rare high-end singles.
Yeah.
Like there, I don't see any other local card shop that like has
Manga's just in the
serials and
case,
mangas
yeah.
in the case consistently, right?
Yeah.
Not to be like, oh yeah, we only have the expensive cards here, but it's just there's a lot here for every player. There's boxes and boxes of bulk for people to
Yeah.
go through. So like a lot of One Piece careers are starting here and
Yeah.
developing here, which is great. Like I would say this shop has the best competitive scene arguably in the Midwest, definitely in the Chicagoland area. Like if you're trying to get better and get your reps in for high level play for like regionals, nationals, Sully's Abode, and there are other great respectable shops in the area. But I mean, we're talking about Sully's right now.
Yeah.
They have it considered like the Wednesday leagues. I mean, that's a sweatshop,
Cutthroat.
man. Yeah,
Cutthroat.
it's just sweaty, and that's really where you can try to test your metal, pressure test yourself. But then there's also Sundays if you're trying to chill and just get into the game and have a good time. So it really is probably one of the best One Piece card shops around.
Yeah, I especially like the community because I don't think it's like a gatekeepy culture, right? Like people are willing to help and toss you things that you need and offer free advice, right? No one's trying to sell you a course and say like, oh, like do this, but you gotta pay me $50 for this, right? Not to say other people are doing that, right? I don't know if they are, but no sweat if you are, get your bag, right? But the culture of Sully's is to like help, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a really important thing.
All the Sully's haters have tuned out by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's true.
They have
That's true.
exited the stream, man.
They're over the
no longer
glazing.
watching. Yeah.
But thanks for coming and
Supporting, yeah.
supporting for the
We locked in the view, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
might as well stay till the end.
We got your ad. We don't have that yet.
So July 11th just passed. What are we on? We're recording July 19th.
Yep.
So with July 11th just passing, there was releases for 3 different card games: Godzilla, Gundam, and Hololive. More than ever, the TCG landscape super saturated. And then I think it's October when Riot Games is taking their foray into physical cardboard with Riftbound. And what I ultimately want to answer is, will any future card games have the legs to stay for 15, 20 years, or are these just 3 to 5 year cash grabs?
Well, so 15, 20 years is a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're
Right.
past the point where
Yeah.
like that's possible.
Yeah.
right?
15, 20 years is absurd. Like 3 to 5, I think is also a very long time. And if you are able to capitalize a 3 to 5 year time period, I think that's like a very good thing.
Yeah.
My opinion.
I think people have kind of fallen into this train of like a card game isn't successful unless it joins Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, and
Pokemon.
Pokemon as
Yeah.
like those legacy games that have just lasted. Not to say that it can't happen,
No.
right? But like let's
Yeah.
take Dragon Ball Z for like people always think like, oh, if there's a strong IP backing it,
Yeah.
it'll last.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at Dragon Ball Z, right? Like Dragon Ball Z is everybody's gateway anime.
Yeah.
People love it, old and young alike. but there just hasn't been a game, one singular game, right, that has stuck for an extended period of time
Yeah.
with respect to those 3 games that we mentioned before, right? Like, if you just look at how the game has played out, I would call Dragon Ball a success, right? Dragon Ball Fusion, Super,
Yeah.
I would call them successes. But like these new, like we just had 3 this past weekend, like AJ mentioned. Last year was a big year for
Yeah.
all these games coming out in the field. You had Altered, you had Star
Star
Wars,
Wars, yeah.
you had
Lorcana was the year
Lorcana.
before. In fact, we'll talk about
Yeah.
Lorcana's success in 2024, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you said, everybody is seeing that the card game market is worth investing into.
Yeah.
But I think people need to calibrate their expectations on how to resource a game to make it successful.
Yeah.
Like, I think we just need to redefine what it means for our card game to have legs, right?
Yeah.
Like, the goal shouldn't be 20 years. If it does, great. Like, I'm not saying that no card game can,
Right.
but we also have to look at like I think there's a generational aspect to it. Like
Yeah.
right now we're going into like TikTok culture where everybody's attention span is a lot shorter,
shorter,
right?
yeah.
So like people are getting bored of games very quickly. So
Yeah.
like One Piece is the perfect example. They're pumping out sets.
Yeah.
Like before it was a quarterly schedule. Every 3 months you get a new set.
Yeah.
Now you have ETBs. Now you have
Yeah.
PRB. So there's like 6, 7 sets coming out a year
Yeah.
just to try to keep the game up to date.
Yeah.
But that kind of flux, when you look at games like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and Magic,
Yeah.
they're updating, but they went through a generation where like I'm loyal to a game, like I'll stick to this, like I'm a lifer,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
And where I think that the TCG landscape has made a culture shift to like the card companies have to earn my loyalty,
Yeah.
right? Like let's just be honest, like Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic especially have just had some like really, really crummy metas.
Yeah.
But because people are loyal, they play through it expecting that it's going to get better. Whereas now, if there's 1 or 2 bad metas, people have no problem jumping shift because every 2-3 months there's a new card game to try.
Right. Yeah, I am a firm believer of this, is that I don't think that it's always fair to compare to Pokemon, because
Yeah.
Pokemon is a tyrant in its own sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the biggest marketing brand in the world, right? Or one of the biggest, next to like Sanrio. And we're thinking globally, right? Like global impact.
Global entities.
So nothing's ever going to be the next Pokemon, because how can you be, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that they'll be on top forever, right? But it's hard to kind of break into that space, right? So
But Murbariz actually did bring up Dragon Ball. And Sush, not too long ago, you were actually talking about how some of those cards still hold a lot of value. So you don't
Yes.
even necessarily have to be, or your game doesn't have to be relevant right now, but the collector's market is also something you can be successful in too, right?
yeah, this is something that my hill to die on, is I think every game needs to appeal to the player market and the collector market.
Yep. I have a lot to say on this actually, but I was going to
Yeah.
save it till we talked about Riftbound.
Well, hopefully you agree. If not, then
no.
we'll have a discussion. But
There'll
yeah,
be
I
blood.
think that you have to appeal to a wide sense of consumer base, and there's always going to be people that want to just collect, and there's going to be people that want to play. And if you just focus all your eggs in one basket, you're going to ostracize a whole community. But it creates this weird culture, right? It's like, well, the collectors are the ones that want to collect the high-end pieces that are the reasons why people are opening boxes to get. The boxes need to be open so people can be getting their playable cards.
Yep.
So it's this weird infrastructure and life cycle, right, where everything needs to kind of feed into one another.
Right.
And every person or every part of that wheel has to do their part, right?
Completely agree.
Did you want to save your piece for Riftbound, or?
I'm going to save my piece for Riftbound.
Okay.
Get in there.
I'm going to get heated.
Oh damn.
I will let the people know.
Yeah. Murbariz Mirza.
Yes. And I hope Riot hears it.
Riot Murbariz.
Yes. Long-time League player, man. I've been loyal to Riot, and I still am.
Still am,
I
yeah.
want that loyalty to be met. Reach out to me.
I have no complaints with Riot. I have a cool story. I was dating this girl at the time, and I didn't know if we could go see Worlds at the time. I didn't know she had something planned because it was her birthday weekend and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But Worlds lined up here at the Chicago Theater
Cloud9 played there, baby.
Yes,
I remember
Cloud9
that,
did
yeah.
play there. So I didn't like book the tickets right away, but they sold so quickly.
Yeah.
Sold super quickly, and she felt bad about it. And she actually emailed Riot directly, like, "Hey, something happened. My boyfriend wanted to do this, but like, we couldn't figure it out. Whatever." And I don't remember when, but it was like really close to the event. And I was like getting ready to just like, set up like at home and just like watch it from home. But she surprised me with tickets to Worlds, fully paid for by Riot.
Aw.
And we
Yeah.
were super close to the stage. Like we were maybe like 3-4 rows from the stage.
Yep.
And I could literally see, and we watched the exact game I wanted to see too. It was Royal Never Give Up. So it was RNG's Uzi versus Faker, SKT's Faker.
Oh my god.
And it was like, so ever since that happened, I have nothing to complain about with Riot because it's just like they gave me such an incredible memory for
Yeah.
free.
No, trust me. I love Riot. I'm a hardcore fan. I love,
is.
but my one beef with Riot, one thing that I can't forgive them for until they fix it, hopefully, is what happened to Legends of Runeterra.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that was.
Him and the
j-
other 400 people that played.
Hey.
That's a lot of people, man. But Legends of Runeterra, and the reason why I'm excited for Riftbound is one, I love the IP, I love
Yeah.
League of Legends,
Yep.
and all of that, and pretty much all of the art is Legends of Runeterra
Yep.
art
Yeah.
for their
Recycled,
cards.
yep.
But to Sush's point, they didn't like they caught lightning in a bottle, man. Like to this day, Legends of Runeterra is probably the best card playing experience I've ever had. Like that game was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It played really well. The card designs were great. They did such a good job, patching competitive play. They were on it. But where they fell was monetizing it,
Yeah.
right? At the end of the day, these companies need to get a return on their investment
Correct.
to be able to properly fund and resource it so that we as players can continue to enjoy. One of the things that you said that really struck a chord that I agree with, you have to find that balance between appealing to collectors, which in the gacha community are called whales,
Yeah.
and then the casual player. Riot made it the barrier to entry so low
Right.
in Legends of Runeterra, where anytime there was a new set, I did not have to spend a
Right.
cent. I did not have to spend a single penny. I could get all of the cards purely because it was so easy to get gems and like the internal in-game currency to craft cards. It was so even if you played like 1 to 2 games a day, that's all you had to do to amass enough to do that, right? So it was very free to play friendly.
Yeah.
But the whales had nothing to spend their money on. Yeah, the cosmetics were cool and things like that.
Yeah.
And then from a business perspective, and whoever follows Riot and is in tune with it, they've had a lot of leadership changes, right?
Yeah.
And whenever there are executive changes, they're not looking at the player base; they're looking at the bottom
The
line.
fiscal year, yeah.
So anytime there's a new product or service line release, you don't want to use a successful service line to fund that.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Like everybody says, like, oh, they're making so much money off of League of Legends, they could fund Legends of Runeterra forever.
Right.
That's not the point. That goes against
Yeah.
every conventional
Good
business
business,
model,
yeah.
right?
Exactly.
So the thing I'm excited about Riftbound is it's a physical card game. There's an inherent design where people are just going to buy to open up packs.
Right.
But now you have to design cards that have collector value.
Correct.
Right? Like Dragon Ball is a perfect example. Like, yeah, the game is dead, but the god rares are still worth
Thousands.
right?
Thousands, yeah.
I think One Piece, Magic, and Pokemon do this really well because they release like exclusive rares. Like this
Yeah.
Final Fantasy set is absolute
Absurd.
heat. It's
Yeah.
insane. Like the golden chocobos, people are going crazy.
Yeah.
What they did with the One Ring,
Yeah.
genius.
Yeah.
Right? forcing
agree.
people to open pack, and then that creates an ecosystem because since people are opening more sealed, there's more single product out there, so it's easier for casual players to buy singles.
it,
Cards
right.
are cheaper, da da da. So you create this self-sustaining ecosystem where you have new players coming in, and you have the whales just spending the money that they want to spend.
Correct.
So that's my one gripe with
Yeah, and I
Terra,
think
man.
to kind of
RIP.
like leverage on Barbara's point is, we're not saying that it's like to not have a barrier or that a barrier entry is we need a barrier to entry, right? We're saying that as a business, you have to think about the best interest of a business is different than the best interest of a player, right? So as a business, for things to succeed, they have to monetize something, right? And if they don't, then they're going to cut it.
Right? Like as
They're
a
gonna cut it.
player, you
Yeah.
have to respect the needs of the business rather than
The needs
only
of
expecting
yourself,
them to expect, like you said, our own needs.
Right.
Because the better a game does, the longer a game lasts.
Correct. Yeah.
So that kind of ties into exactly what AJ was asking before, like how do card games get legs? And the only ones that are successful are the companies that find that balance.
Yep. And I think you have to create this demand, right, for your product. I think I hear this a lot in the space, like, oh, like how could they short this product? And they're like, oh, they just like have this printing issue. I was like, and this is my take, my own personal take is they don't have any printing issues.
Of course not.
They're a $1 billion industry. They're a lot smarter than us. They have a lot more data than we do. They know what will sell. They can project what they're going to do for their revenue. They know all these things. So they know how much to short the supply, right?
Yep.
And they know to short it to create that artificial demand and create the controversy. I mean, a really popular statement is all publicity is good publicity,
Yeah.
right? So,
Absolutely.
it's easy for X company, I'm not going to shame any company saying that, like, oh, yeah, hey, guys, it's a supply chain issue. But we know as people, it's like, oh, you're multi-billion dollars.
Yeah.
If you have a supply chain issue, you wouldn't be worth
Exactly.
multi-billion dollars,
No, there's a laundry list of excuses and there's a laundry list of complaints, right? Like where people say, like, oh, they're missing out on money. If they print it, people clearly want to buy it. No, business is
Yeah.
psychology, man. Like,
It is.
You can't just say like they're wasting their own money. They're not supporting the secondary market. Da da da. Like Sush said,
They're breeding the
yeah,
secondary market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of research and development goes into generating these card games. It's not like to them, this is their livelihood. They are investing in this business. They're creating this massive back-end infrastructure. It's not a kid's game for them, right?
It's not.
No, this is real life. So they're putting in
Real time and real money.
time, real money, and this is the result, right?
Yeah.
And the sooner you get wiser to that, the more you can, like, the less frustrating it is for you, right?
It
Because
is.
you just understand. You can see market trends. You can see what's going on, and you can plan for a lot of different things.
Yeah. I guess kind of going off that, what I hope Riftbound does, and I think does really well, is original art, right? I think it's been a really hot topic, especially in a AI space right now.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people are having controversy over AI art. We have our own thoughts on it. I'm not going to get into that here. But I think original art goes a long way.
Absolutely.
I think of Union, and no shame to Union, but when I opened a pack for Sully's socials, and it's Full Metal Alchemist, which is a great anime. I love that show. But when I opened it, I was just looking at clips from like things like
Screenshots, right?
PNGs, yeah, like
Yep,
literally
PNGs, yep.
screenshots, and it's not exciting, right? And I don't know if that means that like, oh, it's because I've seen this scene before, or like, but when I look at like a Pokemon pack or a One Piece pack, it's like an original art. Like they hired an artist to do this, or even Magic does this, and it really is eye catching. And I really hope Riftbound follows that business model. And I assume they will, because I think they're
So they
good.
are, and what I
Yeah.
think they're so Riftbound has this really cool thing when it comes to rarities, like where everybody's used to full arts. Not to diminish them in any way, I love full arts. Like I chase them like nobody's business. Full arts, alternate arts, this, that, and like, there was this one thing in One Piece where they released a signature card.
Yes.
Right, and it was.
Yep.
Like on One Piece's alt arts, you have the artist's name, which is really cool. You can
Very
like
cool.
anytime you know that this artist released a new One Piece card, you have certain people that just chase after cards that are drawn by an artist, right?
Yep.
So it create, like you said, it's layers of different demand, layers of collectability.
Yep.
Like TCG is a premium hobby, right?
It is.
The difference,
a
like
luxury
where AI falls short, and I think will fall short consistently, is because this is a premium hobby. People are discerning. People like to buy things so that they can put on display, they can do that.
Correct,
So
yes.
creativity is very much so respected in the space.
Yep.
And what Riftbound is doing, they're having something called, so at the bottom of every card, obviously, like in the first set, there's 300 cards being released.
Yeah.
So you have that card's number out of 300.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
then, but
Holy.
for the new rarity is there's going to be cards over the number of 300, and they're called overnumbered cards. So it's 301 out of
Yeah.
300 or 302 out of 300. And so that's going to be a unique rarity. And from that, there's also going to be full art and alternate cards that are signed by the artist.
Wow.
That's cool.
And it's not even
sick.
like, it's on the side. It's like, it looks like an autographed card. It's like
That's
very
awesome.
prominent. It's in the center of the card. Sorry,
Yeah.
I
No,
almost
no.
said-
You're good.
but it's, and again, are these famous? Is it Vincent Van Gogh? No, these are just, these are community artists that are working hard, that are drawing the card, but it creates like this
This chase.
exclusivity,
Yeah,
this chase.
exactly.
And it,
Yes.
and I love that it's supporting the artist, because now the artist
is.
names are getting out there. Their signature has value.
Yeah.
Rather than just getting voice actors coming to, cons and
Yeah.
events, you can invite the artist, and there'll be people who recognize it, like, oh man, like, can you sign my Bully Bear alt above the signature that's already on there? You know,
Yeah.
like it's cool. There's like a lot there.
It is. It's really neat. Dragon Ball did something similar with some of their God Rares, where they had like Sean Schemmel signed like a few, and
That's sick.
that was really cool to
Yeah.
see. And obviously, he's not the artist; he's the voice actor for Goku.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a cool model. I applaud Riot for having a brand. I think that's also really important.
Yep.
Is that they have a brand, and they know what their brand is, and they're gonna capitalize on that. And I hope that they create that storyline. Because kudos to them for creating a storyline essentially out of nothing, right? I guess all stories were that, but
That's a great point. I mean, like when Riftbound was first getting introduced, the big thing was, the champions in League of Legends.
Yeah.
Now we're expanding on the world outside of it. So they created
Exactly.
characters, they created this narrative, and visualized it.
yep.
And it's not just like you're expanding on your brand. You're
Yeah.
not enforcing it, which is fantastic.
But you already know there's gonna be like a couple card for Zaya and Rakan. Right?
Yep.
They're couples, so it's like a little Valentine's Day card. Like
Right.
that stuff works, and
Exactly.
I
Gimmicks-
like that stuff
Yeah,
too.
me too.
So
Some sort of alt art where it's like a full art and you can just like put the two cards together for
Exactly.
those two would look sick.
Pokemon and Digimon do that really well, like
Yeah.
conjoined arts.
they do.
Yeah, isn't it, Sush, isn't there like a couple cards? I think it's the Deerling, right? You can put the Deerling,
Deerling
and the
and
Sawsbuck
Sawsbuck.
together.
A
Oh,
little
there's,
bit
like,
older ones are the
a 9-panel from, what is it, Lost Origin or something?
Crown Zenith has like the 9-panel of like the little babies that you put in. There's some older ones for like Heart Gold, Soul Silver area where it's like quite literally half of a card, so like Lugia top, Lugia bottom. I think.
Oh, yeah.
So Riftbound does that model too. It's cool.
Hope
I wanted to talk to Mubariz's point. I think the signature is an amazing idea. I love that artists are like just getting straight printed on, because I've known, and I've been one of those people who have like waited in line at a con for a signature from an artist where like, oh, this is like my favorite card of all time, and like the art is so significant to that memory. Like I've played it, won games with it or whatever, had a great time with it, but I want it immortalized, right? I want that signature, and I want kind of like this memory to kind of be like solidified and stuff. So I think that's amazing that they're
I love the idea. Rather than waiting in line, you can just try to pull it.
yeah.
And then get signed again,
Yeah, exactly. Double signatures, man.
Yeah. And it's a cool homage to the artist, like you said. I mean, it's good to support your artists.
No,
right?
I'm a strong proponent that everybody should eat at the table.
Yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
There's plenty to go around.
Yes.
Like what's the hot topic in the TCG community right now? Scalpers, right? Like,
Right. Yeah.
just there's like this boogeyman term that just like,
Yeah.
if somebody doesn't like you, or if they're not happy with the price you're giving them with a certain product, like, oh, you're a scalper. But and I'm not defending scalping by any means,
No.
but I'm just saying like the community's starting to cannibalize itself, right? So we do need to kind of promote some positivity, and it's nice to see that the companies are not just about the cash grabs. They're like, like I said, let's promote the artists too. They don't make
Yeah.
any money off of that, right?
They
They're
don't,
just
yeah.
like, hey, let's include you,
In
right?
fact, they probably charge them money.
Exactly.
If
If they
someone's-
really wanted to make
yeah.
it, they could have put the voice actor signature on there or something
Yeah.
like that, right? But like to include the artist is, I think, a great form of community building and
It
culture
is.
building.
Yeah.
In Magic in particular, there is maybe like I can think of like 3 off the top of my head. And Sush is a really funny story. I think it wasn't
what's his
who
name?
drew
The Mox guy.
the Moxen. But I wanted to mention Rebecca Gay because you mentioned there are people who chase like One Piece arts for certain artists,
Yeah.
and I've known Card Fight Vanguard players that do the same thing. But Rebecca Gay in particular is just such a iconic name with Magic art. People love her cards. Her cards are worth more. Like the arts. There's even like artists are so synonymous with Magic art, and I know
Yeah.
that some of it is a little aged and a little dated, but like those like old ones, that's where it really sticks for like a
Right.
lot of people.
And a word from our sponsor. Looking for the hottest singles in your area? Make sure you visit sullysabode.tcgplayerpro.com and see what the shop has available. From the best One Piece selection in the Midwest to vintage Pokemon grails to Commander staples and more, Sully's Abode has it all. And if you're in the Chicagoland area, you don't have to pay extra shipping from TCG Player. You can place your order online and pick it up in store. If you're from the area, make sure to visit because we're processing cards every day, and some playables are display case only.
Looking for sealed products? Then Sully Abode had you covered. Visit our new site, separate from the TCG Player portal, and order your sealed products from us. Looking to the future, 500 years into the future? Well, we're not pre-ordering that set, but you can pre-order the new OP12 set, Legacy of the Master. Also on there are pre-orders for the next Lorcana set, Fabled, and HoloLive set 2, featuring Edward Elric. Full metal.
I forgot. I was editing that this morning.
I don't think HoloLive.
My bad. I was editing that this morning. I didn't finish it.
It's okay.
My bad. Okay, but we're good to cut it there.
Perfect.
One Piece, media powerhouse, global sensation, and the game this house was built on has seriously planted itself into the TCG scene. It's one of the most graded games according to CGC. ICV2, a business-oriented news correspondent focused on geek culture, reported that One Piece is in the top 5 in both hobby channels, which are local game stores, and the mass channel, which is big box retailers. Emperors in the New World was the highest-selling sealed product according to TCG Player. There's plenty of market representation for One Piece, but also at a regional competitive level, it's commonly sold out. And we've ran 1Ks, totaling like over 60 players, 80 players, and the one in I think 2004 was it, or was it? It wasn't the start of this year, right? For set 5.
2024. Yeah, it was last year.
Last year.
yeah.
So January last year we had 150 players for that one, which is insane. We've never hit a number like that ever since, but I mean that set was crazy. Aside being an incredible IP, because like Star Wars, D&D, and we've talked about Dragon Ball,
Yep.
they have plenty of fans. But what is it that's made One Piece so successful in its? I think it came out in Japan in 2022, 2023. So in just like this 2-year time span, what has made it so successful, or what do you guys think has made it so successful?
I think there's a bunch of different factors that kind of culminated into just a really successful game. One Piece, when it first came out, was really short on product,
Yeah.
right? But it came with a strong IP that everybody, and at the time I was playing Digimon, right? Like I really,
Yeah.
I love Digimon, but there was a lot of hype growing about One Piece, not just because of the IP or the cards itself, but because the learn and plays that they did for like 2 years were very successful. People just really enjoyed the game. So it made it easy to get into. And then they did the super pre-release event.
Yep.
And the super pre-release event was another marketing, like a genius marketing strategy where you have
The stamp
exclusively
cards, yeah.
stamped decks, which make them highly collectible.
Yep.
And then the pre-release winner card, like they were small events, maybe 8 to 20 people,
Yeah.
and you get a card that's now worth thousands of dollars,
Yep.
right? It's amazing. And then after that, they had short printed set 1, but people were clamoring for it because they very quickly introduced a highly competitive scene. Like the first Treasure Cup was 2 months after the game released, and those
Oh, wow, I
prize
didn't know that.
cards, yeah. So the game was released in December, and then the first Treasure Cup I went to was in Las Vegas, and
That's cool.
that was in February.
Yeah.
And those prize cards and the serialized Luffy, all of that, thousands of dollars. So not only was it a fun game, but it was a lucrative game.
Yep.
Like people are making careers out of being professional One Piece players. So it appealed on every level, a highly competitive level, a collector's level, a casual player level, just, even just profiting out of the game. It checked all of the boxes very quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of other games, they ramp up slowly, right? They're like, hey, let's sell, let's see how well the game does. 6 months from now, we'll do a regional, or 6 months from now, we'll do an event at Gen Con or what have you, right? Whereas Bandai said, we're hosting our own events. We're going to get this going. They started reaching out to TOs very quickly, incentivizing judges. It was such a well thought out, organized rollout. Everybody can complain like, "Oh, Bandai shit the bed." Or sorry, I get one.
You get
one.
me up. That's
I
our
get
two.
one.
That's our
I
two
get one.
guys.
Yeah, I get one. But Bandai crapped the bed because there was so little product. But no, that really increased demand. It made people want to just buy up all this product. Like, you could not find One Piece on shelves because as soon as it hit the shelves, people were scooping it up.
Yeah.
We're 2.5 years later. People are still doing that.
Yeah.
The difference is obviously there's more products, so it's getting stocked more frequently.
Yeah.
But still, if you won't find sleeves at a Target or at a Walmart because people are buying them out in bulk.
Exactly.
Right. So it's just that's why I think this game had such immediate success and was also set up to have longevity.
Yeah. I think you kind of touched on the idea of like an infrastructure, right?
Yep.
They came in with an infrastructure. They knew what they were doing, and it kind of talks about our point prior where they fed everyone along the way and created this life cycle that's healthy and needed for their business, but also the community, right?
Exactly.
I do want to touch on the competitive scene. I think that's really important, and I think a lot of people talk about Lorcana. Lorcana has been up and down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to any Lorcana players, but that's just my thoughts.
I mean, to that point, I did my extensive research, so we'll
Yeah.
talk to the competitive scene for Lorcana.
Okay.
But that is a pain point. People have
I'm gonna put a
mentioned
pin
that.
in it.
Yeah, we're gonna put a pin in it, guys.
Yeah.
Low hanging fruit. We're gonna focus on the low hanging fruit.
Equity.
Low hanging fruit, guys. Remember, like we can't, guys, like really focus on low hanging fruit. Sorry. I also think One Piece has the, it appeals to the normal consumer, right? Where a normal consumer can come in and get a pack if there's one in stock, but they get a pack and then they like the card. The cards are high quality, right? I think people want that. I think that it feels good to buy a premium product. I personally believe in that. If I'm spending money on something, I would like it to be a premium product.
Right.
And a good investment of time for my money, especially if you're like buying a pack or something, right? I want the cards to feel nice or look nice or kind of scratch that itch.
Yeah. So to go off of that point, One Piece did a really good job raising the collectability because you have the manga rares, you have the SPs, you have the alt art. So there's layers of being able to land those big hits, right?
Yes.
And somehow, like, just One Piece cards consistently retain high value. There's a high resellability. There's a high trade value. All of that really ties into people just constantly wanting to rip product.
Yes. And some people may say like, oh, but the new manga is only worth $400. And my argument is, guys, it's a piece of cardboard.
Only
worth
$400 is a wild
It's
statement.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to say that this piece of cardboard retains a value of $400.
But that also speaks to the success of One Piece. When
Correct.
The scaling of One Piece is so different from other games where we're saying it's only $400. When you look at $400, you're like, that's a bargain.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you look at Pokemon, you're happy if you get like a $5 hit. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I also think One Piece, how do I say this? I don't want to say got lucky, but I'm glad that they had backing from other companies. So like PSA, right? Graded One Piece pretty quickly. And what that does is that, PSA is a tyrant in this like space, in the collector space, right? Especially in the graded market. So the fact that they're also grading cards kind of catapults that popularity,
No,
right?
they're making the right collabs, like this Dodgers Luffy,
Yes.
or they're appealing to all these different markets, right?
Yeah.
People are going to sporting events to get these cards, so the
Dormant
team owners are like making hella money off of this.
Yep.
And and it's just raising the popularity of the game.
Correct. Yeah.
Now there's people that just showed up like, holy crap! I just came to watch a baseball game,
Right.
but now some guy outside the stadium offered me $500 for a card. I got to look into this.
Right,
And then
exactly.
it
Yes.
raises hype for the brand.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No, they're making all the right moves.
They are. Yeah. The
As much
collaboration.
as I don't want to glaze Bandai, but they're doing it right.
They're a very good business, right? I think we talked about this a while ago. How One Piece is actually like a small set of their business. They focus a lot on their games and their toys.
Yeah.
Which puts into perspective how big the company really is, right? Because as players, we think, oh my god, it's a tyrant. They're
Yeah.
making so much money, but like to them, it's a small asset of the company.
It really is. Like, forget about One Piece. If their entire card game division just closed today,
Yeah.
it would not impact that company at all.
Which is crazy to
Yeah.
say, right? But it's our niche that we're in.
It's true, yeah.
So
That's what this whole podcast is about.
it's true.
But yeah, so that's what I would say in a nutshell is how they started off strong and maintained it. Right? They're listening to they're tracking the market trends. What they're not doing really well, they're supporting the competitive scene, but I don't think they're managing the competitors. Like if I had
Yes,
to,
okay.
devil's advocate here and be fair, I don't think they're managing the competitive scene well enough in the sense that the frequency of ban lists or restriction lists is so low that it causes
Stale
fatigue.
formats,
Stale
yeah.
formats and fatigue in the game. And so far, their response to format fatigue has been, let's just push new cards.
Yeah,
And that's
and
never
power
the
creep.
answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
power creep, right? Like you have people that are just. I know someone personally that loves to hate on the game, but also still plays the game because it's just a good game,
It
right?
is, yeah.
But like anytime a new overpowered card comes out, like the Roger as a leader, right? Like
Yeah.
whoever has. a
What are they
team,
thinking, right?
Or think like that. That's
Yeah.
insane, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I will say that they're doing relatively well is they're power creeping all the cards,
Yeah.
right? So everything is getting more overpowered and things like that. So I still love the game. I see longevity in the game. I'm really excited for Riftbound caveat, but
Yeah.
I think Bandai really hit it out of the park with this one.
Yeah, and I think something else they do really well is they cater to a normal player that doesn't have prior TCG experience. There's a lot of people that One Piece is their first game, and the rules are simple enough where you can follow. If you can do basic arithmetic, you can play One Piece, right?
That's the caveat, right?
Right.
Yeah, people taking
Yeah.
entry level math courses just to play.
Yeah.
Magic
So,
numbers,
yeah.
dude. They go a
Swing
long way.
7, right?
Swing
Two over.
swing 7.
Unless everything's a 7K leader, then
Or if you're swinging to 6.
yeah, or if you're seeing 6, yeah. But it's I think it's really important to have a low floor but a high ceiling.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Because you don't want a high ceiling right away, but you don't want too low of a floor where it's like, well, this is just like a children's game.
Right.
Like, why am I wasting my time, right? You want some sort of skill expression.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Touching back to something that AJ mentioned about our friend Anonymous was there's a lot of room to cook in the game.
There is, yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, you have like some super powered, like, really well thought out master decks, but then there's also a lot of room for variance, for people to get creative with the game.
Absolutely.
And it's nice. Like I
It
said,
is.
it appeals to a wide player base.
Yeah.
You always have like a couple people at locals that are coming in with like those super off meta
Rogue,
leaders
yeah.
and taking wins from the top decks. It's fun to see.
It is. And I think it's some people, I mean, we always meme on like, oh, there's another Luffy leader,
Yeah.
right? But he's the main character, right, you guys? It's the brand, right? So just quit complaining, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think that they are trying their best to kind of have a wide range of people as leaders. So people will bond to that, right? People bond to their favorite character. And they want to play their favorite character. I fell victim to that, right? I want to play Whitebeard because my favorite character.
Yeah,
I wanna play
absolutely.
Zoro, always one of my favorite characters. So
But you also have to be you have to be careful which one is your favorite character because there's a lot of forgotten leaders, right? That
There
just
is.
will not be getting support.
like Iceberg.
Iceberg.
Talk to me about Caesar Clown.
See,
forgot
that
he's
was
the leader.
the greatest tragedy of our generation, man. A leader that never made it.
Yeah.
And I know this is like a really hot topic. AJ and you and I, we've talked about this quite a bit with the rotations coming up, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I think rotations are healthy for the game.
They are,
I'm
yeah.
a big fan.
They are.
Anonymous, who I keep bringing up, He's not. He's
Okay.
not. He doesn't like the idea.
He's
and
wrong.
Yeah.
I'll tell him now.
It's fine. But I think most people would agree that rotation is very healthy for the game.
Yeah.
Especially if, as a company, you have the awareness that, hey, we're doing a pretty crappy job at releasing ban lists or semi-ban lists or restriction lists or whatever you want to call it. Let's just do rotations so we can
Yep.
focus on what we're doing, pump out new cards,
Yeah.
and not have to worry about old combos or overpowered old cards becoming even more so.
Yeah.
So I really like it. And it just, because One Piece can be pretty expensive to get into, especially for certain decks, the barrier to entry for new players is way lower with rotations. You don't have to worry about getting the old cards. You can just buy the new cards that are a little bit
Correct.
more ready available.
Yes, and you don't have to worry about all the cards either. You
No.
don't have to learn all these leaders.
No,
you don't have
you
to
don't.
learn everything, learn new meta. I think it's ease of player access is really important. And the main argument I hear against this is like, oh, but like, what if someone buys an OPO1 Zoro? I was like, well, like, those products are so scarce as is nowadays
Yeah.
that you're not gonna go into a Target and find OPO1,
But
right?
like,
So
I would never support an argument that like, oh, what about the value of my collection when rotation comes in? I mean,
yeah,
again, you got to look at the health of the game or the health of the market.
yeah,
You can't always have both,
you can.
right? So I would be severely impacted with rotations, right? Because
Yeah.
I thankfully I love this game. I love the IP. I've been a One Piece since the For You Kids days. Like I watched it from day one. But you roll with the punches, man. And
Yeah.
like overall, I genuinely think this is better for the longevity of the game. Like these are the type of decisions you want to make if you want to hit that 10-year, benchmark.
Yeah. Yeah, it does suck, right? Like people have all these arts and all these leaders and all these things, and I mean, it's like a fiscal impact, right? I totally agree. It's gonna sound very gatekeepy. I'm sorry, it's not my intent, but it is a luxury hobby. I think that people have to really recognize that this is not livelihood. This is a luxury hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not food. It's not a place to stay at
It's
night.
not-
It's none of
no.
those basic things
Yeah.
that you need. This is something you're putting on top of everything else that you're
Correct.
getting. Yeah.
Yes.
But this isn't exclusive to TCG.
Yep.
Any
Yeah.
resource like gold, jewelry, valuate fluctuates.
Yep.
It does.
The house you live in, the land property, the land value,
Yes.
up and down. Like you're gonna lose money at certain points, and you're gonna gain money at certain
Correct.
points.
Yes.
If
That's
I,
the
that's
game.
that's the thing. I think one thing that Pokemon did that was super unhealthy for the culture of TCG was to have this mindset: if I sit on a card like
It's gonna go up,
Charizard,
yeah.
it's gonna be worth 250K in 20
Yeah.
years, right? Like.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh kind of did the same. Like you have people sitting on like the original set, Legend of Blue Eyes, and they're selling sealed boxes for 30, 50K.
yeah.
Those are very unique instances, right? You're taking a very calculated risk when you do that.
Yes.
I'm sitting on, like, I'm buying a blue box of,
OP1.
Romance Dawn, OP1, and this is going to be worth something.
Yeah.
For you to assume that would be guaranteed, like that's
It's
just you being
speculation.
naive. Like it's speculation,
It is
right?
speculation, right?
So you got to roll with the punches. You have to go in knowing what you're doing. And I would tell everybody that plays the game or collects the game, really try to categorize yourself in one of those two camps, right? Like, what is your goal in buying these cards? Are you
Yeah.
buying this so you can make money off of this? Or are you buying this because you like the cards and you want to play with them? Like, really ask yourself that every time you make a deep financial investment, right?
yeah.
Like, oh, I'm buying a $400 manga. Okay, are you buying that $400 manga with the intention of intentionally like making money off of it? Yeah, that's
Or
fine.
to enjoy it.
Or to enjoy it, right?
Right.
Both are correct,
Yeah.
right? But live with the consequences of whatever decision you make.
Correct.
That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, and this goes with like I think a lot of people, it's like the idea of like cardboard these cards are investments because people have made a lot of money off
Yeah,
these cards.
they have.
And that is a very valid take, right? But the one thing that everyone I think needs to know or should know is that companies are always life cycles. Right
Yeah.
now, Apple's a tyrant, but maybe in 50 years, we don't know who's going to be the next Apple. We don't
Exactly.
know. Like you think about Sears, right? There was a time where Sears was a tyrant.
Untouchable, yeah.
Untouchable. They were the Amazon of their time,
Yep.
right? But where are they now, right? That's just how businesses work. That's the
Yep.
life cycle of a business. You know, people always say like, "Oh, but the S&P our return's 10%. It's like, well, they're pruning companies, not
Exactly.
financial advice. It's just what they do.
Yep.
Just, I'll put that out there. But that's what they do. They prune companies and always are changing their list. That's why it returns,
Absolutely.
because they're agile in their approach.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of big business, another massive IP in the world, Disney, probably the second biggest behind Pokemon. They've also had their foray into card games. So Lorcana came out in 2023. That's a year after One Piece's release in Japan. So One Piece did release in 2022 in Japan. They also featured in the top 5 of ICV2's top-selling games by channel in 2024. They even beat out, and we've mentioned the big 3, Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2024, Lorcana managed to beat out Yu-Gi-Oh! I think in the hobby channel. I can double check. But they managed to beat out Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is like the first time in probably decades that one of the big 3 were usurped in either of the channels.
Wow.
Worlds has just wrapped up. It featured Lorcana's first ever world champion and a stream viewership of 130,000. On the 4th of July weekend, PPG Pro Play Games hosted a 20K weekend. I couldn't find a number on how many players went down, but it was big enough where Sush, Justin
Yeah.
Orby, he went down and made a top 4, right? It was big enough,
Wow.
and
Yeah, one of our
it was
guys.
that's one of
amazing.
our guys. We
Yeah.
love that guy.
That's cool.
Like shout out
Good
to Justin. Good dude.
Congrats, man.
Made top 4, and it was big enough for him and his team to go down there. It was out in Texas, maybe Dallas or somewhere out in Texas. According to TCG Player, according to their Q1 sales, One Piece's Royal Blood actually still managed to sell twice more than the amount of Lorcana's set that came out in around the same time in Q1. It was Lorcana's Arcasia's Island, which featured its first 2 colored cards, right?
Yeah.
So you would imagine that in introducing a new type of card or a new mechanic like that should be super exciting, right? If One Piece introduced 2 colored characters, how powerful can you push those if you lock them to only that colored
Right.
leader? But it's slowly like starting to see its decline. We're seeing smaller and smaller locals than ever. Our product has been sitting, and we can speak to our own biases here, and that's what I'm asking you guys to do.
Yeah.
But there's data also that supports that it's slowly declining. And part of it might be rotation, which is what we've talked about, and I want to go into that more in a second.
So, Lorcana 2024 was very fun. I think they did really well with the competitive scene. And the competitive scene, I caught the bug. It was really fun to be a part of. Me, AJ, and another one of our friends.
How many set championships did you participate in?
4 or 5.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
championship pricing was just really cool too.
Yeah, the
Consistently.
pricing was really neat.
Yeah.
I got 1 Ursula, which was really
Yeah.
cool.
The Ursula, Matt, and the card were amazing.
Yeah, I sold a card. Sorry. It was a cool. If it was a character I enjoyed, I would have kept them. But
Oh, for sure.
sorry, Ursula. But I really like that model of the set champ. I think it promoted small businesses. I think that's really important to do, especially in the TCG landscape. Is shop local if you're able, right? It's one thing I'll say. If you're financially able, please do. Yeah, I thought those set champs were really cool. I think they promoted them pretty well. I think that it provided an opportunity for competitive play for a lot of people. I think one downfall they had was they made it too accessible, where they changed it from top 4 to top 8.
Oh, okay.
So obviously more of this this card in the
It
wild.
diluted the pricing. a
So
little
if the pricing is diluted, the card's worth $30. I'm not gonna pay $25 with a chance of winning 30
Right.
for 4 hours, right? That's not
Yeah.
necessarily worth the time or the investment, which I think is not something I would do. I think that it was better to keep a top 4, but I do understand the decision of wanting more people to have that card. But I think from a competitive scene, scarcity is very important in order to breed it, right? So we talked about a cereal Mickey.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a cereal Mickey.
Yes.
Thousands of dollars, right? So that's why I think the Lorcana's championships did very well, because that commands a huge price.
Yeah.
Right? And that can change a lot of people's lives and can help a lot. So that's my kind of thoughts on it. I think in terms of rotation, I think Lorcana's card rotations are a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah.
Where they're going to limit the card pools a lot. At least what I understood the game to be at the time that I was playing it and through whispers was that most of it, the same cards are being used for set 1 essentially, right? There's like the Steel Song deck, and there was blue red good stuff, blue red good stuff.
Yeah, it was like
and
blue red ramp. It got into a big top end.
the
And-
items, yeah.
Yeah, and for people that don't know, rotation is going to hit the very first 4 sets. To what Sush was saying, a lot of the set 1 cards we're still seeing a lot of play, and we're already in set 8, and a lot of the set 2 cards still had a whole archetype built around
Right.
them.
Yeah.
For the health of the game, for the health of competition, and the health of business, right? If you force these rotations on these players, whether they are competitive, because collectors will buy boxes, right? They're trying
Yeah.
to chase the hit, they're trying and get their money back. But for players, sometimes if there is no money value there, they won't get it if they don't need that card for that deck, right? But
Right.
if you put rotation on it, it will have them or force them really to buy boxes again, sealed product again.
Yeah, and I think one thing that they struggled in was kind of fleshing out color identities
Yes.
in upcoming sets, right?
agree.
They fleshed out in the beginning really well. They even like released a statement saying, okay, like this color is going to do this, and this
Yep.
is the play style, and that's really good. But I think that they didn't introduce staples and advance that color identity in their later sets. So now that they're rotating these older sets out,
That's exactly the point I wanted to make.
it's tough.
Yeah.
yeah,
They started off so very strong. Where like the first 4 sets, because like I played a lot in the first 2 sets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Took a long break, came back in like set 5 and 6, and because I didn't have any set 3 and 4,
Yeah.
those were like really expensive cards. I had to go
They were.
chase them. But to keep parroting what both you and AJ are saying is the first 4 sets cards were so strong and they did a bad job replacing them as staples.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you rotate them out, it harms the game,
Yeah.
right? Like there aren't cards good enough to replace them to make the game feel fun enough.
right. To refine your deck.
To refine your
keep the
deck. You
strategy that
feel like
want, yeah.
something is missing. And like you said, all of the color identity cards, like the staples per card for, ramp in blue, for, removal in steel,
Yeah.
for removal in red, and like, big massive bodies. That's all in the first 4 sets.
Right.
I would even go like that's all in the first 2 sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like if they're going to do that, they have to show that they're releasing cards to take like we're glazing one piece, but I would say like that's doing a good job because let's use black yellow Luffy for an example. When Moria got hit, that deck got hit pretty hard.
It did.
And they released they teased a new ace, a 5-drop ace
Yeah.
that functions similarly
I'm so excited.
to Gecko Moria within that deck.
Yeah.
Right? See, like that shows me growth in like reviving a deck. Like what
Yeah.
made this deck powerful? How do we bring this back into the competitive scene? Well, let's create a card that does the same thing, but leader lock it.
Yeah.
Right? So like that's what I want to see from Ravensburger. And I was really hyped when I knew Ravensburger was going to be designing this game because like I loved their board games. They
Yeah.
they did a really good job. So I think they have the team and they have the resources to make it happen. But I also think they tunnel vision into this card design plan that they have.
Yeah.
And rotations was something that they decided on much later, and they didn't adjust their card design plans to accommodate that.
Yeah. And it's, when I think of Lorcana, it's the same things we touched on for One Piece, right? It is a low floor. Like a kid can play it quite literally.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is a skill expression, though. There's a lot of decision points. Like, do I quest with this? Do I attack this
Yes.
turn? Do I ink this? So there's a lot of skill expression that goes into it for a higher ceiling, right?
It's a well designed game. Like you
is,
can't say
yeah.
like they have a great game, but I think certain macro decisions were made seemingly prematurely.
Yeah.
They were overly aggressive. They just quickly reacted to some feedback that they were getting.
Yes.
And there were no back end support that was there to reinforce their decision in an efficient way. Product scarcity is another thing.
Yeah.
You can walk into any big box store. What's left on the shelves is Lorcana. You're
Yeah.
seeing Lorcana, sleeved packs everywhere. Like even here in the shop, like we're sitting on product. Is that because people aren't buying? Is that because they're overprinting? I think it's both.
Yeah.
Right. So there's got to be like
A balance.
they have to find that sweet spot that works for them, right? Like
Yeah.
when you think of Disney and you think of Disney fans, you think of longtime people that just the people that go to Disney World or Disneyland
Generational,
every year.
actually,
It's
yeah.
very generational,
Yeah.
and so there is this mindset of excessiveness, right? Like, oh,
Yes.
they'll just buy a whole bunch,
Yeah.
but not all of Disney fans are TCG players, right? So
Yeah.
they
Correct.
don't
Yeah.
understand that. So you also have to appeal to the TCG player and make them feel like, hey, if you hit something rare,
Yeah.
it's rare. It
Yeah.
actually feels like you did something.
Yes. Yeah. And the cards are really poor quality. And
It's paper thin.
It
It's
is,
paper thin.
yeah.
And I'll be honest, I did not like the original Enchanted design.
I did not either. Yeah.
Like they were good for collectors in the sense like, oh, I know I have to chase an Enchanted because it's the most valuable card. It stays in a binder.
Yeah.
But again, I'm a high rarity player. I like having like the nice shiny cards in my deck.
Yeah.
And Lorcana didn't have that until much later.
Yeah. They didn't really have alt arts, right? They had
No.
like cold foil.
So we kind of, for us three, we have spent like a relatively good amount of time in Lorcana, irregardless of the set, the meta, or whatever. But we're out of it right now, right?
Yeah.
That's not to say that we will never come back. There's plenty of times where Murbariz has come back to the game. Sush and I have both
Yeah.
left the game, come back to the game. But I have actually talked to our local players to see what they think about the game. Right, we do have a declining locals right now. It's a little sparse. And one of the reasons, and maybe Murbariz, you can talk to this better because you play One Piece at a higher level than Sush and I do more regularly. I think the most common negative or pain point that they had about Lorcana currently is that there is a lack of regional level tournaments. Part of this
Yeah.
might be due to increased global presence, but because I think the game is now, or recently, I think in January, it released in Asia. So I think Japan and Korea both got theirs, and South America has also gotten theirs recently too. But there's only 3 regional level tournaments for Lorcana for this coming year. I think it's
For the year?
for the
That's
coming
surprising.
for the
That's-
coming year. So there's only 3 regional tournaments for the coming year in North America.
Oh,
But
okay.
otherwise, you got to fly out to Europe for
Yeah.
their 3, or you got to go down to South America for their 1. But I think it's Minneapolis, Wisconsin, and something that is not either East Coast and not West Coast. And I imagine there's massive player base. I know in California there's huge player base for
Yeah.
TCG players.
No, I mean, you need to have a consistent regional schedule for a game to succeed on a competitive level.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're so polarized where you just have store championships, which effectively are just, locals on steroids, and
Yeah.
a world championship or a national championship, that is way too much middle ground because you're not allowing the players to, one, work towards something on a
Yeah.
consistent basis or feel rewarded for putting in the time at locals.
Right.
Right? Like the whole goal is, I'll use One Piece as an example because that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, getting the winter cards at locals is fine, but at best, I'm spending $8 a week to get maybe a
Five
$5 to
back,
$10
yeah.
card.
Yeah.
Right? And not everything should be so transactional
No.
with your hobby, but we're adults at the end of the day, right? Like we want to feel like our money
You
is
earned
going towards something, right?
Yeah.
So the payoff is if I put my time in at locals, I can do well at a higher level competitive ecosystem. And that has tangible results. Even if I go just like the regional participation is always worth something.
Yeah.
But coming back and there's like a whole culture around the competitive scene, right? Like when there's a regional every weekend, people are tuning in to Eggman, different YouTube channels, like what won, what topped.
Yeah.
It creates a healthy buzz in the game, and people are buying cards. Like when somebody won with Up Luffy with the
Don
Dofi
Quixote,
package,
Yeah.
for 1 week, those cards went from $5 alt arts, $10 alt arts to
20
$25,
plus.
$30.
Yeah.
Right? And that's healthy for
Yeah,
the game,
it is.
right? Whereas Lorcana is stale. There's no movement. The only time there's movement is when there's new cards released. The prices fluctuate for the first couple of days, they
Yep.
stabilize, and that's it. Then people can get their cards. There's no incentive to try new deck builds. There's no opportunity to try new deck builds on a higher scale that would impact the market and motivate a large group of people to go out and look for new
Yeah.
cards, right? Where it's just like, oh, what worked 2 months ago? We have to assume that's still working. Aside from like those, 5-star chefs that are constantly cooking,
Yeah.
that are motivated to play because they're loyal, it doesn't appeal to a wide player base, right? People are going to go play a game where they feel supported, where they feel challenged, where it's exciting.
Yeah.
Right? There's always something coming up. And to speak on One Piece, the regionals still 2.5 years later, consistently sell out, not because of, like, obviously the big motivator is the prizing, but because the prizing leads to something. You get an invite. And most of all, it is just fun.
Yeah.
It is so fun to go. Like, you're meeting people from out of state. You develop these
Or
relationships.
people from your local community go
Yeah,
together.
Exactly. You guys carpool, make a little road trip out of it. Like going to Peoria, because we're based out in Chicago. Peoria is the most convenient
Yep.
regionals for us to go, and that happens maybe 4 or 5 times a year.
Yep.
4 or 5 times a year, you get a 2-hour road trip. You get to go out. There's a place in Peoria that we love to go to. It's tradition. It's called Pizza Ranch. Amazing.
Yeah.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored
support
yet.
local.
Yeah, but support local restaurants. And my friends are going to be really upset because
No,
You
That's
just
proud.
blasted the spot.
what-
Now everybody
we're
knows.
we're supposed to gatekeep that. But
Yeah, yeah. Not anymore.
like, it was really funny. Like one of the last regionals, we went there and we saw other players from the regional. They were like, "Damn, secrets out."
Yeah.
Secrets out.
Can't gatekeep though, guys.
Yeah,
You know,
you
can't
can't. You
gatekeep.
can't. It's good
Yeah, yeah.
pizza, you guys. It's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
pizza.
Everyone's got to eat, literally.
Exactly.
I figured
It's a pizza buffet, so calibrate your expectations.
Yeah.
It's not gourmet, but it's great after a long day of playing. But going back to that, Lorcana needs that. Like, I think everything we touched on is based in some sort of data. Like, these are a lot of it is our opinion, but it's an opinion reflective of the numbers that we're seeing,
Correct.
right? And it's the same thing with motivating your players to get more cards, other than the fact that I just love Disney.
Right.
That's not enough.
That's
right?
not. Yeah.
For a card game. And I really hope Ravensburger does a better job supporting local play at a mid to high tier.
Yep. And I think I wish they did 2 things with the game. I wish they had online events. I think today's day and age,
Yep.
you need to have some sort of online event that's
Remote.
backed,
Yeah.
remote play. I know people have their own thoughts on that for cheating and stuff like that, but that's besides the point. I think you still have to have access to an official online tournament that
Yes.
has official pricing that's, good.
Yeah.
Right? Good meaning valuable or sought after or scarce or whatever that means, right? And 2, I wish Ravensburger, they had a fan-made sim.
Yes.
But Ravensburger or Disney, whoever, shut it down. And I think that really hurt the game. And
Absolutely.
here's why, is I think you have to let people cook.
Yep.
You have to have people, and I get it, they probably wanted to monetize something, but in my opinion, if you're going to shut something down, you should
Offer a solution.
offer a solution. Don't just shut it down saying, oh, guys, no, this is like too hard for us.
Yeah.
You have to offer the alternative. And if the alternative is we're making our own and you're going to print a code on the pack and you're going to have to buy our packs and do that,
Something.
people will do it. But to take that away from people, and I know they use what's the card game? The board game simulator on Steam.
Yeah.
Cheeks.
No, it's
That's
terrible. It's so
Awful.
like,
So you have to let people experiment and try things and play test and
Because
have that.
we've mentioned this before, support local business if you can, but we are in such an incredible spot. We are so lucky to live in the Chicagoland area where there are so many TCG stores. Right?
yes. Definitely blessed.
I went out to one shop and I had to come back here to the abode for a shift. It was less than 30 minutes to get here. And I was like thinking about it on my way here, and I told the guys when I first walked through that door, Sully, Angelo, did you know that there's 2 more shops within 20 minutes in either direction? And then they named 2 more shops that I wasn't even thinking about, right?
which is crazy.
Yeah.
There's so many places
Yeah.
where you can be sourcing your cards here in the Chicagoland area. So without that sim, because I've seen people comment on other podcasts or other videos where it's like, dang, I wish I had a locals to play at, or there's no shop for me to buy my stuff. It's hard
Right.
sometimes to wait 2 weeks to get your cards from
Yeah.
TCG Player, and you don't know if they'll come in safely.
Exactly.
You know, and stuff like. So we are
correctly.
very yeah. There's
correctly.
times we've shipped out the wrong card, right? We
Yeah.
always try to
Mistakes
rectify
happen.
it to the best that we can.
Yeah.
But you know, it's hard.
Guys,
and
remember,
we're
there's
lucky.
human behind the order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give
Get
us
into
some,
everything.
give us some graces.
Yeah. Please.
Another pain point that somebody brought up, and Sush mentioned that it is a game that is so simple. Somebody at a very young age can play it. A father, mentioned that he doesn't think that Ravensburger is catering to a young enough audience. There is no junior division, from my understanding, the same way that Pokemon does.
Yeah.
So, and we've had parents. I was talking about the kid who was playing or who was qualified for Worlds last night. His parents see that the same way that some other parents see their kid playing sports, playing an instrument. Like, this is a chance for them to maybe make it big in another way that isn't
Right.
just like a traditional 9 to 5 or whatever. You know,
Fostering a talent. It is what it is. Yeah.
Absolutely. What do you think of that? Like, having to because this is another thing that maybe you need to look at if you want that 10 to 15 year success, or maybe they don't necessarily really care. Maybe it is that 3 to 5 year cash grab, and maybe they don't need that juniors division, and they don't need to separate a 10-year-old playing a 27-year-old
Yeah.
at the highest level.
I think context here is key, right? You have to look at the nature or just the content of what the game represents, right? Like Lorcana is Disney. Disney is a
Yes.
family IP.
Yep.
So
exact point.
that specific IP should cater to all ages
Yep.
because that's what Disney is all about.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Yu-Gi-Oh, it doesn't cater to any one age. Like some of those themes are a little bit more mature and things like that. So they would not benefit from having a junior division.
Yep.
Right. Whereas there is a clear benefit or road to success for Disney to do that.
Yeah.
Because
It's in their best interest.
it's in their best interest, right? Like
Yeah.
it makes sense. Like, I'm not a parent yet, but as growing up and just being around other families, with children, it becomes like a family outing, right? Like, but the parents might not necessarily be into TCGs, but hey,
But for kids,
it's my kid's hobby. Like, I'll bring them out here. It'll be a family outing. Instead of
Yeah.
taking them to soccer practice, I'll bring them over here. The parents, there's a seating area for the parents to just let the kids play,
Yeah.
and they know it's a safe environment. They don't have to worry about inappropriate themes being thrown at their face. Like One Piece, some of the arts are outlandish.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like it's
not safe for children.
no, straight up Gooner material for
Yeah,
sure.
Very.
Whereas parents don't have to worry about that for Disney, but they also might not want them being surrounded by 20, 30-year-olds, getting sweaty, breathing heavy,
Yeah.
and really trying to play the game. They
Yeah.
want them to be around other kids, socialize, and
Correct.
just love the movies that they grew up on.
Exactly. Yeah, we actually had a family that came into the shop that did that. They all kind of played the card game as a family. I think
Yeah.
that's like a really sweet gesture.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
No, that's really good. And I think Ravensburger needs to kind of lean into that market a
Yeah.
little bit more because that's what everybody thought,
Yeah.
right? Like my wife, she has no interest in TCGs, but I brought her to the Learn and
Opening,
Play
yeah.
with the structure decks.
Yeah.
And she obviously she didn't understand, but she enjoyed opening up the cards and seeing like all the characters that she
Correct,
grew up
yeah.
with and all of that. So everybody saw, even competitive TCG players, they saw or understood that this is more of an accessible, from a thematic standpoint. It's a
Correct.
much more digestible, much more palatable thing that will appeal to a wide variety. Like when you see a child at Lorcana locals, it doesn't seem out of place. You're like, okay, yeah, kids are gonna like this game.
Yeah.
But I think just for the health of the game, and also I'm looking at it from a security standpoint.
Yeah.
So children can feel safer and more open. I think it's good for kids to be able to play with other kids in a structured format.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
talk about socializing. right?
Socializing, right? Like nowadays, especially in our
Yeah.
generation, it's not appropriate for a 4 or 5-year-old to always just be around adults,
Yeah.
unsupervised or anything like that, right?
Right.
Whereas if there was a junior division, parents can drop off their kids and go run
Yeah.
some errands.
Yeah.
Whereas here they're like, okay, he's surrounded by he or she is surrounded by adults. I need to stay here and supervise them. Like,
Right.
there's a security aspect to it.
Right, exactly. And it can be like chess, right? It's like cognitively challenging, right?
Yeah.
I think it's good to ask questions, and it promotes all those things for fine motor skills. It's
Yeah,
everything.
critical
right?
thinking.
Critical thinking. I think it checks off all the baskets, right? So it's like really a shame, and I think it's a blunder on their part.
No. But I actually just wasn't even in that headspace. I really like that question, and I like that that was a remark. But that's just all about perspective, right? Like nobody here has kids, so we're not
Right.
thinking about it from that perspective.
Right.
No.
Whereas somebody that is a family person that wants to stay involved in the TCG community and stay with the hobbies that they love, they have to include their families with it.
They do, yeah.
So I really respect that.
Yeah. And it's like a branding thing, right? This is Disney's brand. You got to
Yep.
play off your brand.
Exactly.
One Piece has some gooners, and that's okay.
That's fine. It works.
You got to do it.
As long as you're not hurting nobody.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tremendous missed opportunity.
One thing, sorry, before we kind of, I don't know if we're still talking about Lorcana or not, but one thing that really upset me about what Ravensburger did is that when they banned Bucky, which is a notable ban. I'm not mad that they banned Bucky. I'm mad that they reprinted Bucky with the same art.
Oh, that's lazy.
So that's lazy and it's confusing.
Yes.
Because now, what if I know it's rotating, so maybe it's a moot point at this point, but like,
No, but it's still lazy.
but it's lazy. Yeah, I'm gonna call you on your stuff. It's lazy. But it's like if you have someone that's like, oh, I want to play this card. Which one's the correct art? How would you know?
exactly,
that?
yeah.
You know, it's easier to say like, oh, this one's banned. And you know that because of this. It's a different squirrel. You know,
Yep.
whatever. This one has Kronk on it. This one doesn't. You know, play the one with Kronk on it. You know. I don't know.
Dude, it's so funny that you mentioned that because they released the alt art for the new Sabo leader.
Uh-huh.
It's virtually the same as the old Sabo
think
leader.
it's
and
just
it's
an
the same
angle.
color.
Yeah.
It's slightly like it's almost like in a conversation where you take
Yeah.
stills. Like I'm looking at you and I'm looking at the person right next
And
to you.
just
That's
like-
about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw the picture. Yeah.
But it's okay. It's lazy, and it's our
Very
job
lazy.
as consumers to call out lazy companies and not support the product. Then.
Exactly.
So I do want to correct the locations of the Lorcana challenges. So in October, from October 24th to the 26th of this year, one is in Milwaukee. January 9th to the 11th, that will be in
It's local
Richmond,
enough.
Virginia. Right, so that's in
Okay.
2026. So there is an East Coast one, and in June 19, from June 19th to from June 19th to the 21st of 2026, Indianapolis will also be hosting one. So for as Midwesterners, we don't really have room to complain, right? We can get to most of those places
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
such a good amount of time.
Right.
But not everybody is, afforded that same luxury.
But also, you gotta have more than that.
Yeah, the
Like, you're telling
frequent.
me-
I think it's the frequency that's the problem.
Yeah.
So I actually looked it up as well. So Europe has 3 this coming
Okay.
year, right? 25, 26. Last year, there was 7 in the U.S. for their season, the 23 to 24 season. There was 7 in the U.S. and there was 4 in Europe and 1 in Australia as well.
But then I have so if let's say like take the June 2026, I have no incentive to play this game until like 2 months prior to that.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna invest my time or my money in sets because I know they're gonna release more sets.
Yeah.
So why would I? If I know I'm going to that particular one, why would I wait?
100%.
I've done regional prep for a few games now at this point, and for Digimon I was really bad. I only took 1 week to get ready for my regional.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's what I believe. Maybe all you need sometimes
Yeah.
is like 1 week of serious prep, and then you do like a month and a half of like going to your locals, understanding where the meta is and where it's gonna go. But like you said, Sush, like if I know I'm not gonna play for that amount of time, I'm not gonna be investing in the newest sets that come out. I'm just gonna go straight to buying those singles that I need for that competitive deck. And that's from a player's perspective, right? It's not stopping collectors necessarily, and it doesn't change how collectors see the market or buying sealed product.
But then people that are kind of in the middle that do collect and play at the same time, it makes the most financial sense for them to wait till they're going to play because by then prices have stabilized, right?
Yeah.
It just makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fatigue for everything, right? There's
Yeah.
collector's fatigue, there's player fatigue.
Yes.
and it's just balancing that, right? So
Which is difficult. It's not.
It
It's
is.
not easy. But yeah, man.
That's good. Okay.
That's sad. I hope Lorcana, picks it up. I
Generally, I
enjoy
think
the
it's a
game.
fun game. Yeah.
I genuinely think it's a fun game.
Yeah, I agree.
Do I see myself playing it long term? I don't. Like One Piece has always been my game, but I'm really excited for Riftbound.
Yeah.
So I only have enough mental bandwidth to play
One,
maybe
yeah.
2 games
Yeah, 1 or 2.
competitively.
Okay.
So I think for now, I think those are going to be my 2 games. But I do want the Lorcana fan base. I've made a lot of great friends that play Lorcana, and I hope they get to keep playing the game they love in the way they want to play it.
Yeah. I think that's you kind of like alluded to a really cool point of like this is always ever evolving, right?
Yeah.
So your game may not always be your main game. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to step out and try something new and do it responsibly. I guess
Yeah,
has
man.
always been
That-
thing, but
I'm always trying new card games.
Murbariz is a gooner for new card games.
Dude, yeah,
Murbariz might have the same kind of inability to stay in one spot. Maybe I think I do have it worse than he does, because Sush knows how often I'm changing in between all these card games.
Yeah, never
But-
follow AJ. He will follow the hype. AJ will always sniff out. in
I
my
will find the
defense,
hype.
or-
This is my credit. I'm gonna give you my own flowers.
Yeah.
But I will find the hype before it hits.
Yeah.
So you can follow
That's-
me to
that's
that
true.
point.
That's a
but,
skill.
but don't follow me through the whole thing, because there's gonna be a lot.
AJ Damas.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
No, but like in my defense, I like to try different things purely because like that's the whole point of the hobby, right? Like trying not to find what's next, but trying to find what I enjoy.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you an example. I really enjoyed Altered and Star Wars. Star Wars.
I did too. Yeah.
I thought Star Wars as a game, they designed such a fun game, but it wasn't supported properly. And
Yeah.
another thing that really deters me from sticking with the game, it's not always the game itself. It's just do enough of my friends play it
Yes.
for there to be like
Absolutely.
A reason for
a reason for me to keep playing, right? Like thankfully, I'm blessed where like I have a strong group of friends that we meet up once a week and we just play cards, right?
Yeah.
And if it's not a card game that I can play with them consistently, I feel like it's a waste for
Yeah.
me, right?
Yep.
Because you value the time with them.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. There's a lot that goes into it. Like Gundam, I'm really excited to try Gundam. Me and AJ, he's gonna teach me how to play it after this podcast, but my brother's not interested in it. My friends aren't interested in it. I have one friend that is really interested in it, but I was just like, okay, everybody is waiting for Riftbound. So
Right.
that gives me a lot of hope in the sense that, okay, not only do I have locals, I have just like this personal social structure where I can, just play, and that means a lot to me. So
Yeah.
that influences a lot of my decision makings on whether I stick with the TCG or not. Obeid is another TCG gooner, and he's like, Bia, what's the next thing? Like Bia's my TCG handle and also like my title in
brand.
life. My title in life.
Yeah.
But like whenever I say like, oh guys, I want to try this game, he's like, all right, just when are we doing this? Let's
Yeah.
just make it happen.
Yeah.
There was even a point in time where I think we built a deck for
For
Obey
Obey.
to
Yeah.
get into Lorcana as well, the same
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
you were,
Bro,
right?
we made a separate Lorcana group chat.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
that
just
thing is
Murbariz
dead.
and Obey.
and my brother. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty dedicated, I guess, when it comes to TCGs. Like, if I find one I like, I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't do like the experimenting hobbies just because like I like always fear like same with like when I start a TV show. I have a hard time starting TV shows, so my fear is like, oh, what if they just drop it and I wasted like
Marco
6
Polo.
hours? Yeah, right.
That's
like,
the worst example for me.
Yeah, so or like the studio drops it, and I was like, oh, I'm itching for
You have
more.
trust
That's
issues.
I do.
You have trust issues.
Yeah, I guess that's what it comes down to, right? My trauma.
But to
We're
your-
just trauma jumping.
that's what this podcast has become now in episode 1. But to your point, Sushi and I have talked about this. Like, we love our One Piece community, and this is a shout out to all of our communities here at the Abode. And I say this
Yes.
all the time. We are so incredibly blessed here at the Abode that a lot of our communities are just full of good people. There are a lot of regulars here where I take the time just to talk to them. So I want to go into wrapping it up now. So at the very top of this, we've mentioned that so many card games have come out, and whether or not they have a chance. Hololive, Godzilla, Gundam all had their official releases on July
I didn't
11th.
talk much about those three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally forgot that was
But the idea
Yeah.
the idea is that the TCG landscape is ever changing,
Yes.
and if anything, it's more saturated than ever, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you followed Alestrals, but Alestrals came out in 2024.
I know of it. Yeah.
Altered came out last year. Is that right?
Last year. It was last year.
Yeah, and One Piece in 2022, Lorcana in 2023, right? There's plenty of games, and there's games I haven't even mentioned. Star Wars. I didn't even know D&D had a card game
Yeah,
or some
they
sort of
did.
collectible sort of thing going on. What do you? Does it matter? Does it matter whether or not they have legs? Because like they are investing money, but what if they're only investing for those 3 to 5 years? Does it matter for them to make it to 10, 15? Does it matter like what is successful for a business?
Oh, for a business or for a player? Because I think those are two.
Yeah.
those are
If you
very
guys want to
different
answer either
answers.
or, because it's
Yeah.
like, because I'm right. When I got into Lorcana, I was heavily invested.
Yeah.
I was like, as soon as Gen Con hit, everybody was buying boxes, ripping boxes, and I was making sure that I was going to have a playable deck right away. And Murbariz felt that because
Yeah.
I
But got the smoke.
I don't remember if you were my round one or whatever, but
No.
we were
I smacked it.
Yeah.
we were
It was
playing.
merciless.
We were playing
Fully
top that
loaded
local.
red purple deck.
because we were playing the same deck,
We were
right?
playing the
Yeah.
same deck, and I was missing like 50 cards
Yeah.
out of 50.
But I made sure I was in at the ground floor,
Yep.
and I was heavily invested. Same thing here with Hololive, right? It's an IP that I enjoy. A lot of my friends are into it, or a different section of friends are into it, right? So that satisfies two things that we've mentioned that are things for us as people to play a card game. I don't know what my point was with that, but I'm heavily invested in that.
Yeah.
And whether or not the success lasts 3 to 5 years, for me, it's already good enough.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, I need more time. I can't have it last like these 2 months that it already has.
Right.
But it's gonna get to the point, or I can see it getting to the point where it's good enough for me.
Yeah.
You know.
That makes sense. I mean, the easiest answer to that question that I could give is it matters to who it matters to.
Correct.
Right? Like
Yeah.
for me, and this is gonna obviously piss off who it matters to, but I don't care whether Hololive makes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah,
not my card game.
It is not.
Right? But for someone that is at the ground floor that really enjoys it, like I want this to last. I want to continue
Yeah.
to enjoy it while it is enjoyable.
Right.
Right? So that's really the easiest way to make it. And because there is such a wide spectrum of TCGs, people don't feel forced to play what's available.
Yeah.
Like I can find my tribe, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah. For us, we still manage to host a lot of games that don't necessarily have a large player base. Like One Piece is very easily the fastest growing card game, and with that, its player base is getting bigger.
Yeah.
But Card Fight Vanguard, and a lot of people don't even know that that game exists, has been around. It's probably, I think it's the 4th oldest card game behind the big 3.
Yeah.
And there's success there, right? To have lasted that long, they had to have been willing to invest that in that, right?
Right.
And whether or not Hololive grows or whatever, it's seen success in Japan, and it's seen enough success that it to me, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as long as the person playing it or collecting it or whatever they want to do with it gets what they want out of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Feels a return that they're expecting. It doesn't even have to be fiscal. It's
No.
just return on enjoyment, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give you another story, right? Like where One Piece is growing, but it's for certain people they killed the passion, like they
Yeah.
they killed the game for them. And this happened at the first nationals. The experience was so bad, universally. Like
Yeah.
everybody can
remember.
agree that
Yeah.
was just a
Poorly run
terrible,
event,
poorly run event.
Right,
and it was
because-
so bad that it drove some people away from the game.
Yeah.
Or it just made like I said, there's one person who loves to hate on the game. They love man, when I tell you they were in it, they created a spreadsheet to train for the for nationals.
Yeah.
They were
Holy
a huge
moly.
part of our channel,
Yeah.
and because of how poorly Nats went,
Yeah.
they were like, I just can't
Get behind this.
find the love for the game that I had. Like I'm playing it because it's still around and all my friends play it,
Yeah.
but I no longer like the game.
Yeah.
Right? It's still fun and all of that, but they're very excited for Riftbound. They're looking for a fresh start,
Yeah.
right? And I think maybe a question for a future episode is like, how, as a player, do you recover from something like that? Like, how do you recover your mental? I think mental state as a player is a big topic that people like to hear about.
Yeah,
And I think we should
yeah.
talk about that. But
Absolutely.
like even that, like I just tell them, like, listen, guys, the game is still good. Like I know it sucked, but
Yeah.
it hasn't happened since. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, you guys hadn't made it to that since, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
No, but it's a really good point.
Yeah. So it's just like, retaining the player base, how as a company do you recover from something so bad? And I think there was just like a general lack of accountability in that
Yes.
sense. Like there was nothing ever said or anything like that. Like make the players feel hurt. You know what I mean?
But that's us speaking.
That's
as,
us. Yes.
They're not. Bandai's like, it's not worth our time.
No,
You know.
it's not.
Um,
And I'm speaking on a personal level just because I want my boys to come back to the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But it's okay. Like journeys end,
Yeah.
right? And that's totally normal.
Of
and
course. Like there's other things in life.
it's hard. The topic for another episode is how do you shake that stigma, right? Because Bandai, like a lot of people didn't want to play the next Dragon Ball game or even the new Star Wars game because
Yeah.
they had a history of failing other card games.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you convince one? It's customer attrition, right? So how do you retain your customer?
Right.
Because or when you lose that customer, are they gone forever? So,
Exactly.
Little teaser for another.
And then
topic.
we, as the consumer, what is our responsibility in that endeavor?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna fire off a couple TCGs, and in a general sense, do you think they'll be quote unquote successful?
So like a hot or not?
Yeah,
Oh,
hot or not.
Okay. All right.
Godzilla, does it have a chance?
No.
No.
Alestrals, does it have a chance?
No.
No.
Alter, does it have a chance?
No.
Hololive, does it have a chance?
Yes.
Mm,
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'd say yes.
I'd say no. Me personally, I think, and I think my comparisons are incorrect. But I'm looking at Pokemon. I'm looking at One Piece.
No,
Like,
yeah, you're comparing them to the wrong games.
Yeah, for sure. For scope, that is incredibly incorrect. But that's where I'm at.
But I want to say yes just for my boy AJ because if he enjoys it, then I hope,
Appreciate you.
manifesting.
Gundam.
Yes.
Yes.
I think here in particular will actually, feature a lot of players, and I think a lot of hype, and people are gonna get into it.
I think in Chicago especially, like the previous Gundam card game was very successful here, and we just have a lot of Gundam fans.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I
there's a
didn't
lot
know
of
there's a previous one.
it lasted like 2 decades, dude. Like it was
Whoa.
yeah. But again, it was a cult following.
Yeah.
But there's
it still
people there.
lasted?
Yeah, it still lasted.
Still lasted. So was
and,
Neopets.
like Gundam sells really well here. Like Gundam models, the Gunpla kits, all of that. So I think Gundam is starting off on the right foot. And again, like One Piece, they were really successful in their learn and plays. People enjoyed the first instance of the game.
Yeah. And I think living in a more metropolitan area, I think these like niche things kind of do have like a bigger chance, right?
Yeah.
For one thing, there's
sure.
more people in these concentrated areas, but also we have a chance at getting those gunpla. We have
Yep.
a chance at getting those cards or whatever, right? We live in a area where we can go to like 5, 6 different card shops. Sush and I spent a whole summer going to different card shops all
Right.
in one single day. We called it shop hopping. It was sick.
Nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
Um,
Can I say for Gundam?
Yeah. Go ahead.
That idea of having a max rarity starter deck, if you could pull like full foil.
That was
genius.
That was genius. God deck.
Genius.
No,
The
even
God deck,
more than
yeah.
that, having like the beta exclusive
Yep.
arts.
Yep.
That was genius as well.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
like, man,
I think they're doing a great job with that.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. Marketing.
Yeah.
Good job.
they're set up for success. This is Bandai's game to lose
Yeah.
at
it
this
is.
point.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the support
Which-
is there, the hype is there.
Which is valid. They've done it before.
Yeah, everybody
okay.
has. Yeah,
Yeah.
You can fumble the bag.
Last hot or not, Riftbound.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll let Murbariz take this.
I'm looking at everybody. Everybody needs to do their part. This is a call to action. We should all flood this game.
Order your
Please
cases,
order your
rip your
cases
products,
now.
sell your singles, do all those things. Because
Maybe
they're-
we can do like a case break.
We could.
That would be
Yeah, like
sick.
a live case
That
break.
would-
I'm down to do that.
That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
If that'll get you guys to play.
Yeah. What will it take? Akali? She's in.
No, the second they make a
Jin.
gin,
Yep.
yeah, I'm locked in, baby.
Yeah, I think I don't know, I'm gonna add rationale to it. Riot does not fumble often, and I think
I mean, they did with lore, but
they did with yeah, but
no, they and Riot as a company, more so than any other, I would say, is very much so in tune with their community.
They are. Yeah.
Right, like just they're very regular with their VODs. They're very regular with their AMAs.
Yeah.
You don't get like these media ghosts from
No.
Riot.
Yep.
They're very receptive to feedback. But the thing I respect is like they're receptive to feedback. At least this new administration. Previous administrations have been too much so on the player pleasing.
Yeah.
Where like as a company, you have to have the wherewithal and skin thick enough to be like, we know what's best. We're hearing your feedback.
Yeah.
We're going to give you balance. But if you give the players full control,
No, it's
we're not
awful.
educated. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awful. We're
it's
not.
awful.
We don't run a business. We don't know
Yeah.
how to make a card game. We just know what we want.
Right,
That's about
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
But like a parent will tell you, you can't give your child everything they want.
Right, exactly.
Like a child's
Yeah.
gonna say, I want sugar all the time.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? Come on.
Yeah. Brand awareness. They have
Brand
very
awareness.
Good brand awareness.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I very much believe that it's not gonna fail. We already have like 3, maybe 4 people on staff that are like just chomping at the bit for Sully to release the pre-order date.
Oh
right?
man.
Yeah.
I put up a social media post, and it's just of me like walking through the store because it was a day in the life of working here.
Yeah.
And Woody pulls me over, and you can like hear him saying like, "Are you gonna play Riftbound?" Right? Like everybody's into it and everybody's ready because it is such a huge brand and they've generated so much just like fan loyalty, customer loyalty. Like for me, like I will always be on Riot's side for the story that I shared earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, this is some constructive feedback for the developers of Riftbound. There is no easy how to play video out there. It's very daunting. All the how to plays are like an
Yeah.
hour to 2 hours long.
Yeah. I see
Yeah,
And
that
yeah,
too.
like
yeah.
without
That's
even
true.
going in, not to say that the game is complicated, but when you see a video that long, you're like, what the
No,
hell
we
is
need
this
that-
game?
we
Like
need
what?
that 45-second TikTok.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
give me like a quick 45-second TikTok just to let me know that the game is easily
Mechanically,
accessible,
yeah.
right? I know we're trying to wrap up. I just want to talk a little bit
Yeah,
about
please,
the game.
please.
Yeah.
But another reason why I think that it's going to do really well and I'm really excited to play it is because just from the little bit that I watch, I have not watched the 1 hour, 2 hour videos, but the game is kind of like this beautiful hybrid monster of Star Wars, One Piece,
Yeah.
Magic, all of that. Like the board setup is you have 2 battlefields,
Yeah.
and then you have your base, you have your victory counter, you have your deck.
That's cool.
So like the overall setup is there. It looks like it's just a very interactive. You're moving cards around the board. Everything's doing something. Everything has a purpose. Now it's just like, I think what's really going to tie this all together is how it translates to competitive play.
Yep.
Like there's definitely going to be a lot of like casual things because they have like their board game version of it, like
Yeah.
the 4-player version.
Yep.
Like that's really cool. So I think I'm asking everybody to do a good job at making sure this game's really successful.
Yeah, I'm glad they have a pod style too. I think that's
Yes.
really important.
Very important.
It's fun to play in groups, right?
Yep.
So, especially if you're in a group of 3, then it's like not cool, just like
No.
being the odd one out, right? So,
Yep.
To their credit, I think the very first teaser video they ever put out, or at least the first one that I ever saw, they claim that they are the most fun multiplayer card game, right? That means
Bold.
they're
Bold.
taking on Commander, right?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
has
Very bold.
and
Shout out though, I like it.
yeah, for
that
ICV2, right? The people who report on the sales and stuff like that, Magic is still at the top of the hobby channel and at the top of the big box retailers.
Yeah.
Part of that is because of accessibility,
Right.
right? But it still shows that there's still enough popularity in the card game that people are willing
Yeah.
to buy that.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
that's the OG, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And competition is good, guys. It breeds good.
It's healthy.
It's
It's
healthy.
very healthy.
It is.
One thing I will say, like again, going back to Riot being in tune with their community. I don't know if you guys saw the first release or the first teaser of Riftbound last year. The cards were nasty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They
They
looked
were
so
so
bad,
bad.
dude.
So
It was
bad.
one of those things where I'm like, man, just because I'm a Riot slave, I'm gonna buy
Yeah.
this, but I'm not gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then when they showed, like, we heard you guys, our card sucked, and they showed the new card format.
Yeah.
Crushed it. Incredible.
I haven't seen the
crushed it.
new one. I remember the old one. I was like, man, Yasuo looks kind of whack.
No, these new cards are nice.
Okay.
They're nice. So what they're
Good to
doing,
know.
another really cool thing that they're doing is for the champions, their alt arts are actually just different skins they have in the game.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Isn't that so cool?
I love that.
Again,
I
that's just
love
like
that.
really appealing to their existing population.
Yeah. It's the sentiment, right?
Just the
People are
sentiment,
gonna-
yeah. Like
people are gonna chase that.
if you have a champion card or a legend card, It's just like, oh, I can buy a card for my favorite skin that I spent $30 on or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
People are very emotional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sentimentality and nostalgia go a long way with
Very
card
much
games.
so. That's why I collect Pokemon. So.
Yes, indeed.
Oh my goodness, what was that?
There's a ghost in the shop.
Well, that part I believe. I know we're haunted for sure. That part I have no doubt. I got a story.
Good God.
You're gonna stop people from showing up, man. The people that are really into occult stuff are gonna come flying over here.
Just like looking back and forth. I'm like,
I mean, it's harmless. I think they were just grabbing some chips.
yeah. Them on the Coke Zero.
Exactly.
But for me and the skins, like I own every single LeBlanc skin, and I own every single Aurelia skin. So
Gooner, bro. It's a gooner over here.
I like these dashing like play styles.
Yeah,
but-
for sure, dude. We get it. Dashing. Is that what they call it?
I own the Lee Sin Chibi in TFT.
Oh,
Cutscene one.
that's like, oh, was it Dragon
The
Fist?
Dragon Fist one.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a good one.
Love my little blind. Is he blind?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's blind. Yeah,
Love my little blind guy.
he's sick. No, Riot, like going back to like Riot's customer service. Riot
They're
has,
good.
yeah, they refunded me so many skins, man. Throughout my career.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they're really good about it.
And especially if you're like just because I played Valorant for a little bit during COVID.
Yeah.
And if you're just like a little bit of RP off, they would like give it to you.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I was like, which company would do that? Because if I owned the company, no, boy, you're paying that $5.
Exactly, man.
You
Like
know?
the price is the price.
Yeah. But it was really cool. They're like, yeah, just do like some art for us and we'll give you this. And I was like, okay, pop up with Microsoft Paint. You know?
Do a stick figure.
Yeah, literally. And they did it. I was like,
That's-
wow, good for
I
them, yeah.
respect that, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So to close this off, I think it'll be fun if if I have you guys, because you guys are the ones that.
I'll hold the mic up to you while you do it. All right, guys, we're back with our packs. We're gonna do a little ASMR.
Black Bolt. It is a new Pokemon set. Talking about Gen 5, which is the Unova region. Really cool concept. They put illustration rares for everything, so it's
Okay, let's see what we get.
kind of lit. But the tag is backwards, so that's kind of crazy.
Do you know the pack trick for this?
No idea.
I don't think there is a pack trick.
Are you sure? Oh, really? Oh.
No idea. Should we give away the code? Here's the code.
You gotta go to this camera. My phone's full.
If you got it, you got it.
All right. I'm ready to go crazy right now.
Nah.
Ah.
Oh.
What is that? Like hero?
Yeah.
A hit's a hit.
It is a hit.
All right. I chose Fist of Divine Speed for one piece. All right. I think we got to do this camera. Okay, we're good. There we go, a little ASMR. Again, I really appreciate the little pull tab
Yeah.
to make things easier. All right, so no leader.
That's good. We're off to a good start.
All right. I think this might be a leader pack, though. I don't know. We'll see. All right, ready? Oop, skipping one down.
Oh, it is a
there
leader
it
pack.
is.
Dang.
Let's crash this wedding, though.
Not mine.
But guys,
This was fun, man.
good. Thank you guys for joining me. And there'll be more. I think we're looking to do bi-weekly, more topics. And I don't know. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's definitely been a lot of fun. More to come.
Yeah.
Support the podcast.
Yeah. Subscribe to us on YouTube if that's where it's going, and follow on Spotify. I think you could do that
Yep.
if that's where it's going. Or
And leave us feedback if you want to keep seeing
Yeah, actually, that'd be
Sush and I.
if not,
If
you
not-
might still see us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you have certain topics you want to discuss, if you have something you disagreed with, let us know. We're curious.
Yeah. Or just inform us, right? We have to speak to our own biases, like, right? Because I like playing Hololive, and we all have played Lorcana. We've all played One Piece, but we're not necessarily in all of those games all the time. Right?
Yeah.
Educate us.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
But be nice.
Yeah.
I'm really sensitive.
Yeah. Be nice about it, though,
Yeah.